firm of Harris and Moran. Would you want that job, Danny, on the selection committee? The playoff is here.
Will you ever quit?
No! We want some more! We want some more! We want some more!
With Patrick Harris.
You smile.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Why are you smiling?
Because I love football. Football's fun.
And Danny Moran.
You need a water break. Water is for cowards. Water makes you weak.
Dispensing sports justice. This is the firm of Harris and Moran. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by Video Only on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM, 1080 AM. The Fan.
Hi, friends. The prodigal children have returned, my friends.
Barely.
From a frozen tundra, Baltimore, Maryland. Thousands of miles away. Just the good old US of A between us and home.
I mean, we did cover most of the country.
I saw a lot of the good old US of A yesterday.
Yes, we did. We saw a lot of San Francisco yesterday. Well, at least the San Francisco airport.
A long day yesterday, but I'm so stoked to be home.
Oh, it is good to be home.
It is nice to be home. It's nice to sit in this luscious 75-degree studio right now.
Yeah, goodness gracious, Sprague.
Very.
He said he turned it down. I'm like, you're lying to me.
Maybe he wanted to sweat it out.
Yeah, I know. He wants to sauna it up a
Maybe
little bit.
he didn't make the gym this morning, so we're getting hot in here.
I did, and I'm still hot.
I'm used to a different definition of the hot box.
My preferred definition of the hot box.
When was the last time either of you did a sauna?
I don't.
No.
Probably 6 months ago.
I was
at
gonna
the
say,
gym
like,
and I
maybe
went in for a
the
little
other
bit.
day at my house because I live with 3 females.
Oh, God.
I did a sauna maybe 6 months ago at the gym. Decided to just step in and sit there for a little minute. It's not my jam. I don't like the sweat out.
I need to do it a little bit more. It's good for you to close your workout with that. Just get it all out.
And I just
That's why I don't work out.
wow. As Charles Barkley says, I don't work out because I get tired, and I don't lift weights because they're heavy.
What I'd love to do is I want to do the trendy thing.
What's that?
I want to get the ice bath.
I think I could do the ice bath.
I love the ice bath.
I think I could do the ice bath.
Ice bath is good.
I've been in enough cold water in my life to make that work.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't understand why we as a human race feel the need to try to punish ourselves in either direction like that, whether it's the ice bath or the sauna.
It's good for you.
Just no thank you.
It's good for you, though.
why is the ice good for you?
It helps with the inflammation, man.
With the inflammation?
Yeah. I did ice baths a lot when I was in the military. Like, that was something we did. We were kind of ahead of the curve on that one, I guess.
In the military, you did a lot of ice baths?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you have to get the like metal farm plot tub, right?
Yeah, that's what we did. Yeah.
Is that even what professionals do? Like, I'm thinking about Major League.
No,
the
no,
baseball,
like,
baseball movie.
That's
they
a little
literally
different.
have like a farm plot tub filled with cold water.
No, there's a video out there. Julian Edelman talks about how Randy Moss's rookie year made him get his ice bath ready and get it at the exact temperature, or maybe it was a hot bath. I think it might have been a hot bath. I can't get, but they have ones that can do both, and they're all like controlled and everything. You don't have to worry about that part of it. They're not just giving you the farm bucket, but there's ones you can get now that are like for that. Like if I had all the money in the world in the backyard, I'd have a room that has an ice bath or an outdoor covered area that has an ice bath, and then a little hot box sauna room with the red light.
If I had all the money in the world, I would not still spend a dime on any of that nonsense.
You know, some of us already have hot box rooms.
Yeah, I know. Yours is a little different.
Be a lot cooler if you did.
All right.
Not for me.
Y'all want to buy some drugs?
I got home last night and I took a hot shower for no reason. That was great. Does that count as like a sauna?
I mean, the post airport shower, especially with much time as we spent in the airport yesterday.
My wife made me home cooked food last night.
How was that?
That was amazing. She made mom tacos, and I was like, "This is the greatest thing in the world." I'm so excited to be here. This morning I had a banana nut muffin made by my wife, and that was wonderful.
I do have to say, I don't think I've ever heard the term mom tacos before.
Oh, they're
Please
white people
explain.
tacos. They're white. They're gringo tacos. White people tacos. So it's like the hard shell, the meat, the cheese, sour cream, and like lettuce.
Okay. All right.
Do you make tacos at home?
Well, yes.
Yeah. Or do you make them like that, or are you making like street tacos with asada or or
It depends on our mood. It depends on sometimes we do the little street tacos. Sometimes we do, yes, the crunchy ones, the ones that even are the stand-up shells.
yeah,
because you've seen those.
those are considered like mom tacos, white people tacos,
Gotcha.
whatever you want to call
Now,
them.
have you seen those stand-up ones that are also Mexican street corn flavored taco shells?
No. They're the ones with like you can almost
delightful.
put 2 fingers in the center
Yeah.
because they don't come down at a curve. They like
I
come
prefer
down
3
flat.
fingers of a beverage.
2 fingers in the taco, huh? Yep.
Sure.
Right off to Slam Star. Appreciate this.
I haven't even opened up all my tabs yet. And you guys are already killing me.
Wasn't me, dog. Wasn't me.
There's also a great place on Killingsworth in North Portland. Shout out to the Tulip Shop Tavern. My friends own that place, and they have, I believe it's on Tuesdays. It might be Wednesdays. Obviously, Tuesday would be the alliteration of Taco Tuesday. But they do mom
Sorry, but
tacos.
that got trademarked by LeBron, did it not?
Shut up. Not you, LeBron. And they do it, but they do it like the meat is super spicy. Not like burn your face off, but like I want
some
spicy.
kick.
And then they have a spicy queso is their cheese, and it's absolutely fantastic.
There you go.
I love mom tacos. I got kids, dude, so we eat them all the time.
Oh, dude, look, I
I actually think she made them with Impossible meat last night.
no.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife knows better than to
Yeah,
try to come home with that.
I'm not. It doesn't come into my house.
I said, "What do you make?"
We are carnivores.
I said, "What are you making for dinner tonight, babe?"
Unapologetically.
She goes, "I'm going to make mom tacos. They're going to be impossibly amazing." And I go, "Damn it! All right."
Look, I went.
She
when,
judged them up though. She gave a lot of spice into them, and they were great. A lot of seasoning.
Burger King did one time for a little while.
The Impossible.
Yeah.
They dropped some off at the station one time when I was when we were down on the poop-filled Willamette. I was filling in for somebody. I might have been producing AJ and Dusty. Throwback to the throwbacks. Covering for Will Darkins. They just named like 5 people that don't work here anymore. And Burger King, we were like pushing their Impossible thing, and Burger King dropped a bunch of like Whoppers off with Impossible. It really wasn't bad.
No, I
It
will.
really wasn't
I will
bad at
give
all.
them credit. A buddy of mine was on the kick, and he was like, "Hey, let's go grab these," and I was like, "All right, fine." And I had it, and I was like, "You know what? This has come a long way. I'm still not going out of my way to go get it, like if I have the option, but this is a lot better than what this crap was years ago. Like that stuff was nasty years ago."
Yeah, I think I know we'll get into Army Navy and our experience there. I think the biggest disappointment I had, honestly, was my food intake while I was out there.
Why is that?
I don't think
The Baltimore Fair is just not your jam.
I don't think I was able to find the jam. You know, I'm sure it was there, but I could not come across it.
I mean, we had the crab cakes at dinner. You had the orange crush at the Pickles Pub.
I did have an orange crush, dude.
Yeah.
Do you know what an orange crush is, Rusty?
You'd love it.
Well, I mean, I know of the bottled
soda
beverage.
No, it's
orange
not that.
no.
crush,
It is.
but-
It is orange vodka,
Okay.
triple sec,
Okay. So we're super orangey.
fresh squeezed Valencia oranges,
More super orangey.
and Sprite in a 24-ounce plastic cup.
No, yours is 32.
32-ounce plastic cup.
I mean, okay, that sounds pretty orangey, but I mean,
Keep in mind, our
my
back
taste.
is to Camden Yards.
That was a cool spot.
Legitimately, our back is to Camden Yards.
I mean,
Also,
look, I would drink one. I'm not gonna be like, no, thank you.
also, Rusty, you'll understand how shocking this was to me. Every place we went to, plastic cups. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Except for the nice dinner we had on Friday.
yeah, you're
But
right.
like we went to bars and it's like, here's a beer in a plastic cup. Here's a vodka soda in a plastic cup.
You're right. We did.
Everything is plastic.
Are there recycle bins everywhere?
No. It's like they're allergic to glassware and washing dishes.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they probably have so much trash at bars in that town.
Just go throw this away. I don't care where you go.
Dude, it's wild, man. I mean, everywhere sells a ton of cans of beer.
Yeah.
You know, they got like 6 different crappy beer cans that you can choose from,
Mm-hmm.
which is great. So I just drank cans. But if you wanted a beer on draft, which by the way, I would not suggest in the city of Baltimore.
Yeah.
It was all
Do
in
they not know
plastic.
how to clean their taps?
No, it's just bad beer.
Oh, okay.
But in plastic, dude, I'm just thinking about not even the environmental aspect of it. I was just thinking about the cost. You can't tell me that a dishwasher, glassware, and the labor to wash dishes, the sewer, whatever you want to add on top of it, costs more
Then the number
than
of plastic cups.
millions of plastic cups you are purchasing every year.
Yeah. Especially at the locations we were at, right next, at M&T, across the street from Camden.
And that's what those guys said. Those guys said that we use plastic because we're just so slammed all the time that it's easier. And I'm just like, well, then do that for game day only.
Yeah.
But like, there's 8 of us in this bar on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
I think we can wash some dishes.
Yeah. Good time, though, man.
Good time. City of
Good time.
Baltimore is a cool place. Cool little place, that's for sure.
I'm with you on the food. I mean, our dinner Friday night was
incredible.
fantastic.
Yeah, that was great.
A little lump crab with some filet mignon, and then you complained about the creme brulee that was unbelievable.
That was bread pudding.
It's creme brulee.
Creme brulee and bread pudding are 2 different things.
That was creme brulee.
That was bread pudding.
I'm telling you, creme brulee.
Okay, well, so one of you guys, I was not there, but I will say that one of you guys is horrifically wrong because they are 2 very different things.
I know who it is.
I know who it is.
So
I can pull up the menu.
I love creme brulee. I don't like bread pudding.
See, and I'm not a custard guy, so I'm not big on creme brulee, but bread pudding is nice, but yes, very different things. So somebody doesn't know what they're talking about.
I do love this text right now. If plants are so delicious,
you're
why
right.
are so many companies do everything they can to make them taste just like meat? What was that, Danny?
I'm an
missed
idiot.
it.
Yeah, no. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. You're right. Creme brulee's got the hard top.
Yes.
Yeah,
And then
I'm
you-
an idiot. Yeah. Bread pudding was incredible.
I don't like bread pudding. That was me.
It was really good.
I'm good.
I think the only veggies I ate was that the cucumbers that came with my wings on Thursday night.
Did you eat the green beans?
I did eat some green beans at that dinner and the Caesar salad.
Yep.
That was that.
Caesar was good.
I was like, I don't think these people out here like vegetables.
Nah, not really. A lot of meat. A
feel
lot
like-
of seafood.
I feel like that everywhere I travel. People are like, dude, you're traveling? Screw vegetables.
Yeah. And press box food was half decent too.
It was half decent.
They
It was
kept
half
us fed,
decent.
that's for sure.
The morgue, known as the press box.
Yeah. That was a bit much. We'll talk about that.
Oakley dokley, let's do this. Let's get right into it today. We got a great show. We're back in action here on a Monday. A lot to ride into today. There's a lot of college football to get into. Heisman Trophy was given out over the weekend. The coaching carousel that continues to turn. Chat a little NBA. I'd love to do some Blazers today this hour as well. Some Oregon chatter and a bunch of stuff in the NFL. It's all back, baby. We're all here. We're all ready to rumble. When we come back, Army and Navy from Baltimore, Maryland, 105.1 The Fan. 10:18 here, Portland Sports Leader. Don't you forget it. We are live, baby. We're back home from the shadows of the historic Fremont Bridge. 503-864-6326 is the fan text line. She'll let you interact with us throughout the entire day. Also, shout out to our YouTube cats, youtube.com/1051 The Fan. Jump in on the chat. Join us there where you can catch anything and everything. I gave you a little shout out there, Danny, on that tsunami. I thought you would enjoy that.
It's a great one.
It is
Gives me the goosebumps, dude.
It was by far the coolest moment of my weekend.
Yep.
Watching that in the fourth quarter was
told you.
pretty wild. Pretty wild.
Navy's got a 4th and long one. The ability to put the game away. 17-16. Timeout. General Gillen, 3-star, superintendent, holding up the defense sign. We're right there on the field. I am right next to Army's team, right next to General Gillen. Cheerleaders are right there. And all of a sudden, tsunami comes on. Lights drop. Dun, dun, da, 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 da. All the cadets jumping up and down. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps right now. It was awesome.
M&T Bank Stadium
Packed to the gills.
It did the hoopla really, really well. The light shows, the songs, that just, I mean, all the way down to just how loud a song was everything was pin perfect. The experience was really great. This is so funny. My wife, she gives me so much grief about this. I have not posted anything to social media on my trip. During, say, tsunami, for example, I'm looking around. I'm with some people throughout. I think you and I were a little bit, maybe 10 yards apart from each other. I was actually standing next to Urban Meyer.
There you go.
And I got a funny story about Herb. And everybody's got their phones up, taking video of it, right? And I was like, I was just too entranced. I was just watching that. I was like, I don't want to pull my phone. I just kind of want to watch this. And we were there next to the cadets. So obviously we had the cadets dance part of it. But then I looked over to the midshipmen, and they have their white hats swinging around, and that like just added even more to the aesthetic. The whole thing, a shout out to USAA big time for taking us out there. The experience lived up to the hype. One of the coolest things I've ever been a part of, not just in sports, but just in culture and stuff. Really, really cool.
Look, I know where a lot of people in this city sit politically. Having the president right there is like you don't get to be that close to a sitting president of the United States very often.
No, you don't. And there is Secret Service everywhere. There are black, heavily armored cars everywhere. It was really cool. I was excited too. Another shout out to M&T Bank Stadium for what they do because, I don't know if it's because we had media badges and we have like our own entrance. I didn't think getting in and out was that difficult.
No, it's super for us. It's super easy.
It was run fairly well, and shout out to to all the attendants that worked at the stadium as well. They were super nice. That was one of I think that's my overall thing that I loved about Baltimore. Everybody was really, really nice.
Except for that guy that tried to hit me in the crosswalk.
Except for that guy. That intersection.
Whew.
Don't go there.
Yeah, for those who've never been to Baltimore, crosswalks, lights, they don't exist.
But the game itself was a ton of fun. Rough football for the first half.
Gritty football.
Really, really rough football. Blake Horvath, the starting quarterback for Navy, who engineered basically the game-winning drive.
To an extent,
the
sure.
game-winning
Game
victory
stealing
formation.
Yeah.
Had an okay day at 7 of 14 for 82 yards. But Eli Heindenreich, I believe if I'm saying his name, Heinrich, he had 72 yards, which made him the highest receiving yards total in a season for Navy. Broke the record held since 1967 of 861 yards in a season. I will repeat that. The Navy record for most receiving yards in a season had been held since 1967 of 861 yards.
They don't throw the ball.
And this kid now passed it. So kudos to him. Every time a quarterback dropped back in this game, you could hear everybody go, ugh.
Yeah, Cale Helms had an interception to Army quarterback. Bootleg out to the right. And
such a bad throw.
I was sitting over with Samson from Denver.
Sanford.
Oh, sorry, Samson. Sanford from Denver, who's the head coach at Valor, coached at Colorado, coached at Stanford, coached at USC. and we were both doing the same thing when it happened. He turned the corner and he had the tight end wide open. He had beaten both coverages, the corner and the safety. And we both went, "Let it go!" And then he didn't let it go. And we both went, "Run!" And then he let it go. And we went, "No!"
Yeah, it wasn't even because of schematic. Like, no, don't throw the ball because we don't throw the ball. It was just like, good God, that quarterback, please don't throw the ball.
He underthrew it, but he earlier in the game he hit an out route that was just an absolute dot, and we were just like, oh, there you go. Game was incredible.
Army pretty much dominated this game. They really did. They were up 16-7 at one point, and then it got 16-10, and it was like, could Navy do this? And credit to Navy in that defense. They shut them down for the most part in the second half, and were able to crawl back in. And that final drive, when Horvath fumbled the ball
and got it back,
and
got the first.
His shoulder was down on the ground because he had fumbled it again.
Yes.
And that would
Army thought they had it.
And Army had it, and that was going to be the game. That was a wild time to be there for that, but a lot of fun. I saw Horvath after the game. I stood next to him. Dude, he's like 5 inches taller than me. He's listed at 6'2".
He's probably 6 foot.
I was standing next to a guy who's 6'4" and 6'3", 6'4", and this kid is listed at 6'2", 6'3", and I was like, those guys ain't the same.
No, that's Sanford.
Yeah, this guy's got a helmet on and cleats on, and he ain't anywhere close to this dude next to me.
No, and that's what I was telling you. When we get there, you'll notice like the offensive linemen, they aren't that much bigger than me.
I saw a kid from Navy after the game who had taken his helmet off and been sweating. So clearly he was like in the game.
Yeah.
He was smaller than me.
Yeah.
I mean, shredded, but smaller than me.
Yeah.
And I was just absolutely blown away by this.
And when you see those teams, like, do they lose to the Notre Dames of the world? Yeah. But you know what they beat? They beat the Tulanes. They beat the Memphises. Like, they beat the USFs. Like, they beat really good teams. And it just goes to show you.
Navy's a 10-win team.
Yeah.
Their losses are Notre Dame and North Texas.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Pretty solid little outing. The trip itself was great. Travel for the most part was okay. On our way out there, I got stuck in the very last row in the middle seat, and I had a person next to me who was larger than me, who, when they got to the back of the plane, looked at me and said, "Oh, these seats look smaller than they used to be." And I just went, "Ugh." That was our trip from Portland to Chicago. And then from Chicago to Baltimore, you got the hellspawn child behind you, kicking your seat and screaming.
Yeah, I didn't win the bingo card that day.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't. But on the way back, there was nobody in the middle seat.
Yeah, we both lucked out there,
and that was really nice. Did you have a favorite guest or a favorite person you met over the weekend?
Oh, Pernetti.
Tim Pernetti.
American Conference Commissioner.
Yes.
Not American Athletic Conference. He does not like that.
He does not like
he
that. He
scolded everybody, including the people who did the print media, the guides that they give us. And one of the reps was telling us that, the one in the media room, he crossed it out and corrected it and signed it with a little note of American Conference.
I think he told us on the air that a fine is incoming to the USAA.
Yes. So, but he was awesome.
He was great.
We had him before we got on air, got talking for about 5 minutes, and we had him on air, and then we ran into him again on the field after the game, and I have a reeling suspicion he will be joining us again here on the show.
Yeah, he was fantastic. Good looking dude, giant man who encroaches on you when you talk to him, and that is a power play on me so hard.
He just kept inching over and inching over and inching over to where he was shoulder to shoulder with you and standing down, talking down on you.
It was wild. I've never been more intimidated in my entire life.
It was. I laughed. It was fun.
So he was great. If you missed any of the Friday show, you can go back and check that out wherever you get your podcast, YouTube as well. You can see some of our guests. We had to pre-record some stuff. Obviously, stuff went a little wonky while we're out there, but it always does when you're on location.
When you have that many people, yeah.
Yeah, Pernetti was great. I thought Harvey Grant was a fun conversation.
Harvey was awesome.
To just kind of talk ball and talk his boy in Portland and his brother and the family and all that kind of stuff. That was really fun as well. Obviously, I got my rocks off on Rob Stone.
Yes, you did.
Got to talk football and a little footy with him as well. No, we had a really great time. And talking with one of the USAA guys this morning, we are excited to return if they will have us. And it sounds like that's in the works.
Yep. New York next year.
New York City, huh?
New York City.
I love that town.
Yeah.
I might try to leave early or stay late. Just because I love that city. I love that city so much.
No, it's a good time. Again, shout out USAA, shout out Jimmy Shapiro at Little Guy PR for taking care of everything, getting us squared away every year. Jimmy is awesome. He's the one who sends us all of the betting lines and stuff throughout the year. He's the one who helps us with Danny Cannell.
Danny Cannell, yep.
He's got us a bunch of guests. Jimmy's awesome, and again, shout out him and USAA, Christian at USAA and his crew for helping us throughout all of this and making sure everything is covered.
Yeah, Danny Diaz was basically our handler for the weekend, so that was great. Shout out to him as well.
Car service, all of our meals are covered. We don't pay for crap while we're out there. I mean, it's absolutely awesome. They put on for us.
Yeah, it was a nice time, and I'm excited to hear the reports of, Army, Navy, and the American Conference trying to be proactive about keeping this game standalone, because I saw that. And when we went to the after party after the game, and Boise State UW was on, it felt wrong to watch football.
Yeah,
it really did.
Like, nope, it was funny. Nobody was really watching it.
No, I mean it was a terrible game.
But I mean, even in general, we were just this day is for them.
I was sitting next to Mike Sanford, who played quarterback at Boise State, and he was like,
I'm good.
Yeah. And so kudos to them, and I really hope they figure it out, because I think it moves mountains. It really does say a lot how they're able to have that as a standalone game, because it made it feel special, and it really did. Great time we had out there. When we come back, let's get into normal routine here, all right? This ain't Baltimore. This is Portland, Oregon, mofo. Blazers in action. The weirdest team on the history of planet Earth. There's a game on Thursday that we watched at a bar, and there's a game we watched from the confines of our home last night. We'll do all that next, but first, there's Rusty with sports.
This is the Firm of Harris and Meringue. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by Video Only. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on The Fan, Week 15 in the NFL wraps up this evening. The Steelers hosting the Dolphins for Monday Night Football, 5:15 kick on ESPN. Pittsburgh are 3-point favorites. The Jets have fired defensive coordinator Steve Wilks, ending his tenure after only 14 games in New York. Defensive backs coach and passing game coordinator Chris Harris has been named the interim DC. Over in college ball, 4 Oregon Ducks named All-Americans by the Associated Press. Offensive lineman Emmanuel Pregnon is a first-teamer, while tight end Kenyon Sadiq and defensive back Dylan Thieneman are on the second team. Offensive lineman Iapani Laulu made the third team. Trailblazers now off for a couple more days after beating the Warriors for the third time this year. They host the Kings Thursday night. Portland 10-16 on the season, 11th in the Western Conference. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the Firm of Harris and Meringue. Weekdays 10 to 1. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Coming up in about 15 minutes here, we'll talk a little Oregon Ducks as things are getting ready to rumble this weekend. College football playoff. A D lineman has announced he's coming back for one more year, and there's some whispers coming out of practice. People with pads on. So we'll get to that in about 15 minutes. But, you know, it's we had a fun weekend, that's for sure. And I think I don't know if it's a challenge or an excitement to try to get back into our normal routine here. In the things we like to converse about. Yes. I'm excited to dive back into it, and let's do it right now. Blazers 1-1 over the weekend since we've been gone. I'm counting Thursday because we weren't here to kind of get giddy about it.
But we did watch the game at a bar in Baltimore.
We did watch the game. Yeah, it was fun to find a bar in a town that doesn't have an NBA team that had the NBA package.
And shout out my boy Dez popping by.
Yep. I like that.
Known
was
him
nice
for 20
to meet that
years.
guy.
You get to talk a little footy with him. He's a big Chelsea fan.
We watched that New Orleans Pelicans. First off, Blazers didn't play very well. The Pelicans are a weird team, and especially when they play the Blazers, you know, I think a lot of it has to do with just the attrition situation going on in Portland. You saw the benefit of that when you compare it to last night, because there was not the same availability from a lot of players in that game. And it's hard to go through games like Thursday and really, you know, you went back to the hotel and did the TV postgame show, and I don't know what the hell you talk about in that game. You know, like I know what you do, but it just comes such a struggle because it's like, well, nobody's healthy, and we played like garbage.
And that's the thing is like doing that show.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Turn it off.
And this thing is like, you know, I started doing this thing where I'm like, yeah, let me go ahead and pull the horse out of the closet. Let me grab my club because I'm going to go ahead and beat it again because they're hurt. They played like crap. Yes, you should still beat the Pelicans because they suck. But there's also a component of this. You don't have anyone who can be your primary ball handler consistently outside of Deni Avdija, and you do not, in that game, have a single big. You have no rim protection for a team.
Klingon was out.
Rob was out. You know, Wop. You know what I mean? Like, I love him, but he's not a rim protector.
No, the guy shoots threes.
And that's the thing is like if you don't have your point of attack defense, you don't have your rim protection, so you're not able to get into your offense. You're not able to set your defense or, you know, have your anchor. And the Pelicans at 88 points in the paint in that game. 88.
88 points in the paint? Oof.
It wasn't like the Pels were out. I mean, Jordan Poole wasn't out there like lighting it on fire.
No, it was a bunch of dudes I never heard of.
Yeah, I mean, Jeremiah Fears was solid. Trey Murphy was good, but I think like when I'm not sitting here making excuses, but I don't think people truly understand when you're missing that much. You're missing your 3 point guards. You're missing your 3 centers. And that there's only so much you can do with that.
You don't think people understand that?
No, because people are like, they still should have done this. And I'm like, guys, they're playing without 2 of the most important elements of their team.
That might be the vocal minority. I would be hard pressed to believe that people don't understand when guys aren't available.
Go hop on that Rip City Reddit and tell me what you think.
I read the Rip City Reddit all the time.
Yeah, I know. I pop in there every now and then and put my gas mask on and go, what filth do we have today?
A good one I saw over the weekend was, as we get into this Warriors game, was that Steph Curry would be great coming in off the bench to give Scoot some minutes, give Scoot some rest.
Yeah.
So Steph could get some minutes and let Scoot get a breather.
Turns out Steph Curry still got it. This Warriors team reminds me of Dame the last couple of years in Portland, which is like, somebody help him.
Yeah, it's really tough. I saw an interesting stat that in Chauncey Billups' career as a coach, he is 1-12 against the Warriors. And now Tiago sits here at 3-0 against the Warriors. And it's like, well, speaking of your, vocal minority, well, Tiago is 10 times the coach better than Chauncey Billups.
After the Pelicans game, they wanted to fire him.
Chauncey Billups coached against Warriors teams that were a lot better than this team.
Yeah.
This Warriors team is a really big struggle. And something that, honestly, they've built their squad on and had a ton of success with, they're still doing now, and it's not working at all. It's that there's just no size. It's that Draymond is your biggest dude, and that is an issue. And when you can play against, they just match up so terribly against the Blazers
because
now.
The Blazers have a bunch of wings.
Because there's a bunch of wings and bigs, and wings that'll stretch the court and bigs that pick up rebounds. Yeah. I mean, Donovan Clingan, say what you want from him sometimes. He can be great, and he can be a struggle. He had 3 blocks last night and 10 rebounds.
Yeah.
Like, that's huge. That's huge against a team like the Warriors.
Him and Rob ate them up on the glass.
Yeah, and you're able to just kind of dominate them all game, which allows... And because they're like they probably have to rotate in and worry about what's going on in the paint. That leaves Jeremy Grant, that leaves Shaden Sharp to rain it from far away all night. You know, both kids had 35 points. Jeremy's 7 of 13 from downtown. Shaden's 5 of 7 from downtown. Good God. Brother, if you take 7 shots and make 5 of them, I'm happy. I'm happy.
I mean, you're thrilled. To be honest, I thought that might have been Shaden's best game of his career.
It might be. It might be.
And it wasn't just ball go in hoop. It was
how he was without the ball.
It was how he was without the ball. It was his aggressiveness. It was his decisiveness. It was his shot selection. And then on the defensive end, 4 steals, like getting in passing lanes, being disruptive. And I'm so glad they won this game because it would have really sucked for him to have that game, because I believe it was a 2-point game when Shaden got quasi-blitzed on the right-hand side and lost the ball. The Warriors come down and Steph gets a look at a 3, and I was like, oh, no, don't let that be. It ended up just being a loud turnover and not the thing that everybody looks back on. Shea, why did you lose? You know what I mean? Because he was so good last night. It wasn't just the scoring. It wasn't just the ball going in the hoop. It was the mental side of things. The kick out to Jeremy for the 3 that basically said, that's it. Like, that was like, okay. He was doing all of the things. He still got to the rim, got to the free throw line. He wasn't settling for shots. It wasn't, there wasn't a time last night watching Shea where I went, I don't like that shot. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it was just good.
And there were some moments where there were a lot of good moments of Shaden, Jeremy Grant, and Denny Avdia on the floor at the same time and playing team basketball. And that's what I think you can hope for the most when it comes to these 3 as scorers, is can you go on the court that night and have all 3 of those guys and say, you know, you can tell Tumani, hey, play defense. You know, don't worry about offense because we've got 3 guys that can score right now. Donovan, go to the paint.
Yeah, getting 96 from those 3 guys is super
live down there.
helpful.
And Denny Avdia can say, sick, a night off where I don't have to be the guy. And that's kind of, so it's going to be tough when Drew comes back because somebody's going to, you know, be the sacrificial lamb in that sense. But to know that these 3 players can play on the team together, I thought was a big plus for them last night.
A big plus for them last night also was CeeDee. CeeDee was great defensively.
I think he got the game ball, or he had the defensive package now
The
is
box.
a thing. The box,
Yep.
yeah, the FedEx taped up box. City got that. I thought that was really fun. To your point about like the vocal minority not understanding, I love this text. Caleb Love probably doesn't sniff an NBA playing time without injuries, and even with 0 point guards, he's still barely the 3rd string guy.
He's not a point guard.
Exactly. So that's what you're trying to say is like when you are in a situation where Caleb Love is getting serious minutes, and look, he's had a couple nice games this year. He really has.
I mean, 8 and 4 last night. He was fine.
He's had some big games too. He's also had some really bad games because that's the life of a
This
fringe
was actually
NBA
the rarity
player.
of him, you know, getting 12 points, shooting 50% from the field, knocking down both of his 3s, getting 4 assists. Like, he was good. Like,
Because
he came in and like,
because he didn't have to play 25 minutes.
yeah. And that's the thing is, I thought last night, 2 and City were both really, really, really good defensively. Two was incredibly disruptive.
I don't even know if I ever even have to say Tumani was good last night defensively. He was just Tumani Kamara.
But I thought he had, I mean, he gets the game sealing steal.
Big time.
Just them, because Steph was on an absolute 12 of 19 from 3. And then,
I wonder when's the last time Steph had a game like that? Been a couple years, I feel like.
no, he's had some,
They pop
but like
in now and then.
But that was an otherworldly heater. Like, that was when he got hot. It wasn't touching the net, bud. It
12 of 19
is bonkers.
He only had 4 free throw attempts.
Well, I mean, Steph's not a big free
Well,
throw
I
guy
know,
in
but
general.
still.
When he smoked that layup, I was like, "That's the one you miss."
Should have had 50.
I mean, he genuinely should have, but he was unreal, and I loved how out of the timeout, Splitter was like, "Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You are not going to be the one. We're not going to just blitz you and trap you. We're going to double you fully." And like, because they tried to run Dre off the ball, and they tried to work a little give and go, and 2 said, "Nope, you're not going to do that."
I also think, on a side note, from a Warriors standpoint, we'll get into the Kansas City Chiefs and the big nooner, as we'll do a lot of NFL in the noon hour. Similar to that team, this Warriors, I think this is cooked. I think this is adios. Steph might play for 2 or 3 more years, but I don't think the Warriors are sniffing anywhere near anything anytime soon.
There's some talk that they're trying to make one more trade.
They'll probably go for it. They'll probably try to make a run at Giannis, or
they don't have the capacity.
I know, but they're gonna try to make a run at somebody like that.
They're floating it out there to the 4-letter that no, we'd be interested. And I'm like, the Bucks would not be interested in Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah, they're not going to, and I don't know what their draft capital looks like, but they're
It's fine, but it's not.
They're gonna swing like they did for Jimmy Butler.
I think they're going to I wouldn't be surprised if Jeremy Grant is available at trade deadline if they try to make an offer there.
That might work.
That's more of the caliber of guy I think they're going to try to go for.
That might work.
Another scorer type,
pure scorer. Because Jimmy's not a pure scorer.
He's a toughness.
He's
scorer.
A basketball player.
Yes, and I think they want another guy who's a shooter, but they need size.
And Jeremy Grant gives you some size.
Jerry's 6'9".
I know, but I still think they still run into that same problem. They're going to run into that problem against Houston. They're going to run into that problem against Minnesota. They're going to run into that problem against the Lakers.
There's a difference between Moses Moody on the floor and Jeremy Grant.
Oh, big time. Oh, big time.
That's what I mean.
Oh, big time.
So, yeah, you're not going to have a center that's, Quentin Post is their only 7-footer.
Well, they'll probably move they would move Draymond to the center and play
Jeremy at the 4. Yeah, that's what I mean. If they're healthy, they could run a Pod, Steph, Kuminga, Jeremy, Draymond lineup, and then you're bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're better, at least in that regard. You're certainly smaller with Pods and Steph, but at least you have a not Pods, Jimmy. Then at least you have a semblance of overall size.
Mm-hmm.
That at least makes more sense, right? But yeah, that's their problem. Is they're small.
Yeah,
they're very reminiscent of those CJ Dame Blazers teams. They're just small.
Yep, and I don't know if they're going to get out of it. So Warriors fans, buckle up. It's almost over, and it ends. Sometimes it just ends.
I hate to see it.
You hate to see it, but at the same time, maybe it's somebody else's turn. You got 4 rings out of it.
But also for the Blazers on their side of this, they get a win against the Warriors. They have the Kings and a little home set. You could see the Blazers rattle off 3 in a row here and move to 12-16. All of a sudden, they're closer to 500 again.
Yeah, you didn't expect the loss against the Pelicans, but obviously that's a lot more situational if you look at it. Mm-hmm. The win against the Warriors, I would call a 50-50 game.
Sure. I think they had a 45% chance of winning coming in, so that's about right.
I bet you the metrics say the Warriors are a better team than the Blazers, but when you match them up, it's kind of a matchup nightmare. I mean, Steph had 48 and they lost, and they didn't look like they were going to win that game. I never thought they were going to win that game.
Yeah.
In what I watched.
It's gross.
So nice little run up for the Blazers. They'll get some rest time and guys coming back and things are feeling good. Speaking of guys coming back, something's brewing down in Eugene. Dun, dun, dun. They'll take on James Madison this Saturday. Always, you can catch all the action right here on the Fan Sports Network, home of the Ducks. Let's get into that. A D lineman stays and maybe people can catch the ball. We'll do that next. 105.1 The Fan.
The
Coming up in hour number deuce, the coaching carousel continues in college football. Couple guys staying put, couple guys going home, and one team with nobody knows what they're going to do.
And we got one more guy, one more big name in the transfer portal as well.
Yes, I did see that.
Yikes.
I did see that as well. We might get to transfer portal stuff tomorrow as it's starting to leak out a bunch of stuff. DJ Lagaway, for those of you that don't know, Dylan Raiola just entered the transfer portal.
And Brendan Sorsby at Cincinnati.
Sorsby at Cincinnati. Don't forget Levitt's in there as well. That's a lot
Those
of
are
quarterbacks.
some really good quarterbacks,
Those are some
man.
those are some big quarterbacks. And you wonder if there's anything in Eugene that could relate to that. Ducks and Dukes are on the Fan this Saturday. Pre-game coverage starts at noon with Ducks Game Day, brought to you by Coors Light, and wraps up with the Dick Hanna dealership's post-game scoreboard following the game. Should be a fantastic atmosphere, and we'll talk a lot about that game against James Madison throughout the week. Kick at 4:30 on Saturday. You can hear it right here on the Fan. But some interesting things that happened over the weekend and this morning. Bear Alexander acknowledges that he is coming back to Oregon for another season next year. And I think that's fantastic. I don't know what his draft stock looked like, but I think he is of the benefit of one more year coming back. Amari Washington is a first-round guy right now. I expect him to go. But as Rufio pointed out on the YouTube chat, and I think as a lot of you Duck fans out there are kind of trying to read the tea leaves, I'm kind of with you on this, that I think Bear Alexander coming back is a very large sign that I think there's a lot of Ducks that could come back next year, including Dante Moore.
We talked about this a lot, not just with you and me, but we talked about this with other radio teams and other media members that were there.
Because they want to know. They're like, talk to me about Lanning. Talk to me about Dante Moore. And it was fun to share the Pacific Northwest with people around
and
America.
To get how they looked, coming in. And when it pertains to Dante, if I'm Dante, I would probably go to the NFL this year because the class is not that good. And you were going to go higher.
Sukanik says something very similar as well.
We have seen this bite guys before. It bit Drew Aller. Drew Aller would have gone last year.
It bit Jake Locker. It bit Matt Leinart. It bit Matt Barkley. And those are just the Pac-12 guys I'm thinking of.
Barkley, I mean, he didn't fall that far.
No, he didn't. But he would have gone probably one if he would have left. Same with Jake Locker. He would have gone one.
And that's the thing is, if you're Dante, you would probably, the only guy in front of you is probably Mendoza.
Right. And I bet you get to Combine, and when you start seeing Dante in some of those throws,
somebody might talk
teams
themselves
could
into
talk
it.
themselves into it. Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, you're going to go to a bad team. I'm like, you're going to a bad team.
No matter what.
You're going to a bad team. Like, that's just how it's going to go. But on the flip side of this, for Dante, he's probably not ready.
I would stay if I was Dante.
Yeah, like as far as like preparation-wise, but next year's projected to be a much deeper class.
Yeah, but I think if Oregon returns a lot of these guys, which it sounds like they might, Oregon's going to be a preseason top 5 team.
Probably.
And Oregon has a chance to have a bye and really set themselves up for something. And look, the quarterback at Oregon makes good money. Not NFL first round top 5 pick money, but makes pretty good money that it could be worth it. The other news out of camp today is that Evan Stewart, DeCorian Moore, and Gary Bryant Jr. are all in pads.
Otherwise known as your starting wide receiver room.
The little birdies that I'm hearing are probably saying that Evan Stewart's probably not ready. But DeCorian Moore and Gary Bryant Jr. being ready, if they could get some action this weekend against James Madison and have them fully ready to rumble against Texas Tech, that is a huge, huge news for the Oregon Ducks football team.
Yeah, if you can get DeCorian out there and get Gary Bryant Jr. out there against JMU and get him a few reps, get back in pads again because, it's been a little while for him, and just have that opportunity because you're going to have, you obviously had the break away. You didn't play the conference title game. You have the extra week off and all the things that come with that. Get used to smacking the pads again. You know what I mean? Like, get in practice, get that feeling.
Well, especially for guys like DeCorian Moore because he's a freshman.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have a lot of experience to begin with.
No, so
he's played in some big games.
Sure. But get out there. You don't need to run 40 plays, but get out there and get 15, get 20, get some reps, get loose.
Doesn't even need targets. Just get him running routes.
Yeah, just get used to, doing the thing again.
So we'll touch in on the Oregon Ducks as they take on James Madison on Saturday in round 1 of the playoffs. We'll get into them all throughout the week. A lot of stuff to get for that. A reminder, we'll have Tyson Alger on Wednesday, as we always do, to chat that game. Looking forward. It is funny. We're going to have a conversation at some point about how we just all assume that it will be Texas Tech. Just completely overlooking this game. And that will be a insane concept if the Ducks were to fall short against James Madison. I will a tease early for you. I'm not going to pick James Madison to win this game.
No. I might pick him to cover depending on where that line comes in at.
See, the gambling action could be a fun segment, even for me who's not a gambler. That could be a fun...
It's not about Oregon not being good enough.
No.
It's about Oregon going, we're looking at Texas Tech next week.
Without a doubt. All right, lots to get to in hour number deuce. We'll chat some little NBA chatter as the Spurs take down Oklahoma City. Web Gems is a fun one, kind of off the heels of the Heisman Trophy, which we'll also get into as well. But we'll start the hour number deuce with the coaching carousel, whether it's Kyle Whittingham, Kalen DeBoer, Kenny Dillingham, and the University of Michigan. 105.1 The Fan.
To you by video only. KRSK Portland, KRSK FM HD1 Malala, Oregon, The Fan and Odyssey Sports Station. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
If you've been arrested for DUI, you need a team of attorneys into whom you can place your trust. Call Reynolds Defense Firm today, online at reynoldsdefensefirm.com. First on The Fan, Week 15 in the NFL wraps up this evening. The Steelers hosting the Dolphins for Monday Night Football. That is a 5:15 kick on ESPN. Pittsburgh are 3.5-point favorites. The Jets, they have fired defensive coordinator Steve Wilks, ending his tenure after only 14 games in New York. defensive backs coach and passing game coordinator Chris Harris has been named the interim DC. Over in college ball, meanwhile, 4 Oregon Ducks named All-Americans by the Associated Press. Offensive lineman Emmanuel Pregnon, he is a first-teamer, while tight end Kenyon Sadiq and defensive back Dylan Thieneman are on the second team. Offensive lineman Iapani Lalaulu made the third team. And the Trailblazers now off for a couple more days after beating the Warriors for the third time this year. They host the Kings Thursday night. Portland now 10-16 on the season. That is 11th in the Western Conference. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube and Twitch. And now Window Nation brings you on-demand videos. Watch Window Nation's Window into the Fan. The firm of Harris and Murray.
Would you want that job, Danny, on the selection committee?
The playoff is here.
Will you ever quit?
No! We want some more! We want some more! We want some more!
With Patrick Harris
You smile.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
sir.
Why are you smiling?
Because I love football. Football's fun.
and Danny Meringue.
You need a water break. Water is for cowards. Water makes you weak.
Dispensing sports justice. This is the firm of Harris and Meringue. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by video only on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM, 1080 AM. The Fan.
All right, hour number deuce. Missing the first hour, you can download that, the Fan Podcast, 1051thefan.com, the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts. Let's see here. If you missed Dirt and Sprague this morning, you can catch that wherever you get your podcasts or over on the YouTube. If you missed Prime Time from Friday, you can do that same. If you missed our show live on location Friday last week, you can check that out on the YouTubes. The Odyssey app, rewind, fast forward, except for into the future. For that would be impossible. Coming up in 15 minutes, the Heisman Trophy was announced in a lackluster situation, but somebody took their trucks and went home.
Womp womp.
Sucks to suck, loser. And a little NBA action, plus Web Gems here at 11:45. But the coaching carousel continues in college football. I don't want to say it as if we didn't think it could get more wild, that it did get wild. I think I'm now at a point where I'm just not going to be surprised by anything. The news over the weekend that Kyle Whittingham is stepping down at Utah. Let's see, Brandon Sprague had, Bill Riley, the play-by-play guy for the Utes, on this morning, and he was kind of talking about how everybody knew that Whittingham was going to go at some point. They had their successor in place. They just weren't sure when. I think you and I were starting to poke around that. Did we think that maybe Whittingham was not jazzed about private equity and kind of was like, this might be the time for me to get out? So I do wonder about that, but it's going to be tough. I never felt Colorado fit in the Pac-10. I thought that was kind of a weird hire. They were also not very good for most of it. They were a little better in basketball than they were football. Obviously, we got a very short time with Dion. But Utah walked into the Pac-12, and I think they asserted themselves
Laid
just
it on
fine.
the table.
They asserted themselves just fine. Yep. Kind of said, we play football differently than you guys do. A little more Big Ten action in terms of style. But I loved what they brought to the program, to the conference, and I think a lot of that has to do with Kyle Whittingham, the Kirk Ferentz of the West Coast.
Yeah, no, it's this was the long rumored that this would be his last year. Wasn't exactly quiet around it, that's for sure. You know, we had Whittingham on a couple years ago in Pac-12 Media Days, and the one thing I've said is, you know, if I had a kid who was playing in college and had his choice to go play somewhere, if I had a say in it, I'd say go play for Kyle Whittingham. Like, he's just
one of those guys.
He's just one of those dudes. Like, you know, I said the same thing about General Gillen, the superintendent at West Point at the military academy.
You're ready to die for a man like
that.
Yeah,
like there's just so few of those guys, and there's just something different about them, not just in who they are as coaches, but who they are as men and how they prepare you for life. Like, that's one thing we always talked to Whittingham about was, you know, it's not just about, you know, the football stuff. And all the guys we ever had, Clark, one of his DBs, was an absolute stud for him a couple of years ago at Utah. Talked about him as a father figure and what he's meant to him and how much he means to him as a role model, as somebody to look to, as somebody to emulate. And, like, when you hear that, listen.
Well, those are the traits you have to have at places like that.
Yeah.
Because, Brian Kelly can be a red ass and nobody can like Brian Kelly, but he's at LSU or Notre Dame. Guys will go there no matter what, even if you're not all warm and fuzzy. But when you're at places like Utah, when you're at places like West Virginia, places like Washington State, Oregon State, you kind of have to have that little extra juice of caring, because that's how mama and papa say, yeah, go to Utah. That's how you get on the parents' side, grandparents' side in some families' household situations. That's how you kind of open up to them and kind of say, like, I'm gonna take care of your boy. Don't worry. I will take care of your boy.
It's one of those things where when it happens, you just know it.
There started to be a lot of traction. Gosh, what morning was this? Was it Saturday morning? I think it was Saturday morning. All of a sudden, my feed started blowing up that Kenny Dillingham was ready to take the Michigan job.
And there was word that Dillingham had signed an extension at Arizona State. He has not. They are working towards one. But the fact that came out makes me believe that Arizona State maybe wanted that out there.
Oh, to make sure, like, don't touch our guy?
I think they put it out there of like, no, we're working on something. We got a little something brewing here, but it's not done. You know what I mean?
Yep. And then for Kalen DeBoer, who came out with a statement and said, I have not and will not be talking to anybody about a different job. I'm here at Alabama.
It was quiet for 4 days?
It was really quiet for 4 days. It makes me wonder if he did talk to them.
I'm sure he did.
Well,
his representative did.
His representative did. Oh, yeah, because then he is not lying.
Yes.
And that probably didn't seem like the right fit for him. DeBoer is such a weird situation. I know I've been critical of DeBoer, but the man can coach. He can recruit. He can win big games. If he were to have taken the Michigan job, I think that says more about Alabama than it does about Kalen DeBoer or the Michigan job.
Yeah, no, we were talking to folks at Army Navy, and this was one of the big topics we were all talking about, and everybody's heard the same thing. Kalen DeBoer's family does not like Alabama because Alabama fans, boosters, and the people around there are not grateful.
It's the most impossible job in football right now.
They're just like, we were just in an SEC title game, and that's not good enough for them. And
we went to Georgia and beat them.
Yeah.
And that's not good enough for them.
And it's just like, and I get that. Like, do you think Kalen DeBoer feels loved in Alabama? Because I don't.
I don't at all. And the weird thing about, the Michigan job, is it a parallel job?
I think in cultural standing and in history, yes.
In current today, I think it's a step down.
It is and it isn't, because who has a more recent title?
Sure, but since I've been alive, Michigan has like 2, and since I've been alive, Alabama has 9, or something like that. 6, I think. I was exaggerating there for a moment, but I'll tell you what, the leash at Michigan is going to be a lot longer than the leash at Alabama. If Kalen DeBoer walked into Michigan, he would know he has 4 years.
Yes.
I don't think he knows if he has 4 weeks at Alabama.
Because somebody feeling a certain kind of way,
if they lose to Oklahoma, that's a 4th loss and a first-round exit on the road in a college football playoff game. It's going to get real loud. It's going to get real loud for him, because that's not making it last year and an exit this year.
And I wonder if Michigan hasn't made a hire by then. I wonder if Michigan sits there and watches and waits.
I think Michigan sits there and watches and waits. I think they really do.
And I wonder if that's part of the reason why we're not hearing about Dilly signing an extension, is he's waiting until this weekend.
And I wonder if Michigan is quietly looking at
not so quietly looking at Jedd Fisch.
Well, yeah. Good luck with that. Have fun, guys. I wonder if they're maybe starting to kick the tires on Brent Venables. Can he beat Oklahoma again and put them in? Because we talked to some people. There's a lot of people out there that think Indiana's going down week 1 or the second round, their first game they play.
Really?
I talked to a lot of people that think Indiana's going down.
That's weird. I don't.
Yep, the long layoff, the hype, the pressure, and they'll fold. I don't know if I believe that.
So Oregon last year?
Yeah, so I don't know if I believe that. So that could put Venables, if they beat Indiana and he's in the semis, it's not bad. He could be. Would you rather be at Michigan or Oklahoma?
Venables is a defense guy, but Venables is an Oklahoma guy.
I know.
But also Dillingham's an Arizona State guy, so
I'm just throwing it out there. Are you looking at Texas Tech? Are you looking at Texas Tech's coaching situation? Are you looking at, kicking the tire? Do you go take a shot at Dan Lanning, sort of thing? Because you got to shoot your shot sometimes. I don't know what Michigan's going to do. If I were Michigan, and we talked about this a little bit, if I were Michigan, I would do what Penn State did. Find somebody, a solidified, older guy with a great reputation, get him in there for a couple years, and wait silently, stable the ship, because you got to fire everyone at Michigan.
Yeah, everyone's got
to go.
Whole new staff.
You got to completely revamp everything. And
Down to the GAs, everyone's got to go.
The AD's got to go.
Yes.
Like, get rid of it all. And, there's Kyle Whittingham. I don't think he really wants to coach. Otherwise, if he did, he'd be at Utah. But who says he can't go in there for 2 years and
Go
then
Bill O'Brien that thing?
And then go find who. Remember at the time when Penn State hired James Franklin from Vanderbilt, everybody said home run hire. And it was a home run hire.
That's the thing is, the revisionist history on James Franklin is hilarious. How many 10-win seasons did he have?
I get
8?
I get at the end of the run, it was time. It was probably time.
Sure.
I understand that. I don't know if I would have fired him this year. But
How many coaches have been more successful than James Franklin was at Penn State?
Well, I mean, they've only had like 3 coaches in the last 100 years.
No. I'm talking about.
In the landscape?
Yeah,
not many, man.
He was in the upper echelon.
Not many, and I wonder if that's the route Michigan should go. Is find somebody.
They need a steadying force
to steady the ship, and then go get the young up and comer. Go find your Eric Morris or your Jamarcus Shepard. Go find one of those dudes. But right now, because I don't know if you can bring in. I mean, unless you're going to bring in Brian Kelly. Does Michigan really want to bring in Brian Kelly?
The answer is no.
No, I don't think so at all. So I don't know where they'll go. The Sharon Moore stuff seems to be pretty much all out in the open and pretty much done with. So I guess we can move on from that. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel really bad for the girl, and I feel really bad for his family.
But now we're just waiting for the legal part of this to run its course.
Yeah, because if all this stuff is true with him, it's bad.
Again, allegedly, but it all appears to be very true.
It's really, really bad. I mean, everything that was rumored came out to be true. So I don't want to put all my eggs in that basket and say the rest of it is true, but it's pretty ugly. Michigan will be a fascinating thing. If you thought LSU was a fascinating coaching search, you should watch this Michigan stuff. When we come back, Fernando Mendoza is your 2025 Heisman Trophy winner, but he wasn't the news. Dude, I loved you. What happened to you, man?
Gone.
You used to be cool. That's next. 105.1 The Fan. taking a peek at the AP All-Americans. A lot of cool stuff on there. A lot of cool guys. Your boy Makai Lemon.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be a unanimous All-American across all of them.
Skylar Bell, the receiver from UConn.
Had a hell of a season.
Jeremiah Smith. Emmanuel Pregnon from the Oregon Ducks. A shout out to him. Oh, weird. There's a couple offensive linemen, dude, here from Iowa. Shocking, I tell you. Oh, look, there's one from Utah. Weird.
Is it Fano?
Yeah. Of course it is. Ahmad Hardy from Missouri, which I'm stoked to see because I got their OC now as my head coach. And that sounds real cool to me. Landon Robinson from Navy. That's a pretty cool story.
Yeah, their first All-American in 50 years, first defensive All-American in 40 years.
Flip it, reverse that.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
First defense in 40, but first all over in 50.
Yeah.
Math, not math.
Yeah, no.
Did we just go with it? Smack it up, flip it, rub it down?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Flip it and reverse it. I always think of Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka when he goes, wait, no, reverse that. And then there's this really awkward pause right after it. That's what I always think. But at quarterback, and no shock, is Fernando Mendoza on the first-team offense for the AP All-Americans as he was crowned the Heisman Trophy for 2025. The voting wasn't very close.
And Davey O'Brien winner.
He was also the Davey O'Brien winner. He's 643 first-place votes. Number 2 was Diego Pavia at 189. That's total points of 2,362 versus 1,435. A good old ass whooping. Mendoza was Mendoza. He was very sweet, very humble. I liked his message to...
His speech was great.
His speech was great. I liked his message to, the kids that nobody thought they could believe in you. You know, he's like, I didn't get scholarship offers really, and I had to go somewhere and earn my way, and then I found the right fit for me, and that changed my whole life. And I thought he was very humble. Obviously, his mom's going through MS, so there was that story there. His brother was there. His father was there. All around great kid. All around great kid, and I'm happy for him in a year of Heisman that I'm like,
it's a down year.
At least Mendoza will represent the trophy well. He said, I didn't win this trophy. This trophy was won by the Indiana football team. I wonder if that Heisman trophy will live at IU and not at his house. That wouldn't shock me. Now, I like to think I'm a team-oriented guy. That Heisman trophy would live in my house with me for the rest of my life. I would like to walk by and touch it every day.
They can keep a replica at IU.
No, I don't. Yeah, they can have. Yeah, you're not getting the real thing.
Yeah.
Real thing stays in my house. Diego Pavia, number 2. Jeremiah Love, number 3. Julian Sand, number 4. For the guys that were invited to New York. I would like to know the 3 people that voted for Gunnar Stockton in first place.
Yeah, what are we doing?
I would like to know the 4 people that voted Jeremiah Smith at number 1. Jacob Rodriguez had double the amount of first-place votes than Julian Sand.
Yep, I mean, should have.
Should have. He would have been my pick for the Heisman. But the real fallout for the Heisman Trophy is Diego Pavia acting like a little bitch.
I mean, talk about just an all-time heel turn. Like, from a cool story last year to really coming out and getting it done and backing it up this year to getting a little too high on his own supply.
Yeah, it's really strange because... by all accounts, he was the cool story. I mean, if you take all this stuff out of it and Pavia wins the Heisman Trophy, I know that IU is the story right now about how you take a program that has done nothing and make them something. A lot of that is Cignetti. A lot of that is the influx of cash they put into that program. Let's not forget, Michael Penix played there. So like it's been a slow burn, and Cignetti really fueled it up. But this is 2 years in a row for them. Vanderbilt is a 2-loss team on the outside looking in of the SEC. I know they lost to Alabama and they got dog-walked by Texas, but Vandy was a nice story this year. And it started with Diego Pavia, kind of talking about I wish I could play in college forever. That starts that content.
We want to win national championships.
We want to win national championships. That's great content right there. He was a really, really fun story. For him to come out after he lost, took second place. For him to come out after he lost, should have known he was going to lose.
The idea that he was ever going to win, like that you know what that sounds like? That sounds like the same people that are around Diego Pavia in Tennessee are the same people around John Morant.
Agreed.
Too many people gassing you up and not telling you the truth, brother.
Because then there's pictures on social media of Diego Pavia and his offensive line throwing double birds saying the voters got it wrong and F the voters. And you had to walk all that back. But, dude, you just kind of like ruined any and all
the equity. Yeah. All the equity that you had, you just threw it away.
Because now I'm over you.
Yeah.
Now I'm so over you that, dude, in 5 years I might forget.
You Johnny Manziel'd this. That's what you did.
But Johnny at least won it.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like just throwing away all the equity by being just a colossal douche.
But what I will tell you is I will remember Johnny. I won't remember Diego Pavia. It'll be in like 5 years, and Fernando Mendoza will be a bust or a superstar in the NFL. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it'd be like, yeah, he won a Heisman Trophy. And then I'm going to be like, who did he beat that year? And someone's going to say Diego Pavia, and I'll be like, oh, right, that guy. And moving on, you know, because Jeremiah Love and Julian Saint will be the front runner for the Heisman next year.
Yes.
And, you know, I'll be like, I can't believe Jacob Rodriguez finished 5th because he's an NFL linebacker now, you know, or something stupid like that.
You know, a 5-time Pro Bowler at that point.
And I just, this is the danger. This is the danger of NIL. This is the danger of being able to turn programs around in the drop of a hat, that all of a sudden you become an overnight success and you're doing stuff with your mom. You're like pimping out your mom. And that was funny for a minute. And now when you act like this, it kind of makes me feel like I don't
even think that was funny. That was cringe even when it happened, to be honest with you.
And I think a lot of this makes me look back at all that stuff that I thought was kind of cool or funny, and now I hate all of it. Because now I realize it wasn't about being funny. It wasn't about having a good time. It's about being a douche.
Branding and content. Yeah. And it's like all of it feels fake now.
You are now closer to Nico than you are Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah.
And you just lost to him for a Heisman.
There was such a better way.
And he's like older than everybody too. So you would think he'd learn this lesson.
And it's like, that's the thing that sucks, man, is like, instead of like keeping a good story going and just be like, hey man, you don't have to be the I'm just happy to be here guy, but you could have made it about something else. And instead you went, the thing that irritates me is he went at Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he didn't say Mendoza, but he had a sign that said bleep Indiana. And it's like,
dude, Indiana might put 30 on you.
Win by 30.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like put 45 on you and win by 30.
Yeah. Like, to me, Indiana's the best team in the country, hands down.
I think so too. And Vandy, been a cool story if they got in the playoff.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that first round matchup of Vandy versus BYU. Sign me up. I'd watch that game.
But the whole idea of taking all of that equity that he's built over basically the last year and a half and pissing it all away in a night. It's like
that.
What that is like, that's people showing you who they are.
Mm-hmm. It's very Notre Dame of him.
Right?
All right, when we come back, let's slide over to the association and some cup action as the Spurs take down the OKC Thunder. I think the Spurs know the weakness to take down OKC. Too bad they have something nobody else has. But first, the Kahuna with sports.
Hamburgers, the cornerstone of any nutritious breakfast.
This is the firm of Harris and Meringue. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by Video Only. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan, Week 15 of the NFL wraps up tonight with the Steelers hosting the Dolphins on Monday Night Football. 5:15 kick on ESPN. Aaron Rodgers and Pittsburgh are 3-point favorites. The Jets, they have fired defensive coordinator Steve Wilks, ending his tenure after only 14 games in New York. Defensive backs coach and passing game coordinator Chris Harris has been named the interim DC. 4 Oregon Ducks named All-Americans by the Associated Press. Offensive lineman Emmanuel Pregnon, a first-teamer, while tight end Kenyon Sadiq and defensive back Dylan Thieneman are on the second team. Offensive lineman Iapani Lalolu made the third team. One of these times I'll be able to figure that out on the first time. Trailblazers now offer a couple more days after beating the Warriors for the third time this year. They host the Kings Thursday night. Portland now 10-16 on the season, 11th in the Western Conference. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of dirt and spray. Weekday morning 6 to 10 a.m. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, we'll have Web Gems coming up here in a moment. Everybody's favorite that we do every single day at 11:45. The fan text line, 503-864-6326. Also on the YouTube chat, they'll let you interact with us throughout the entire show. You know, we're starting to get to that time, Danny, where the association is starting to really ramp up and give us some nice little noogies to get into. We were watching at least I watched some of the Spurs Thunder game.
Oh, yeah, I was watching that in my room.
Yeah, on Saturday for the NBA Cup semifinals, the Spurs defeat the Thunder 111-109.
Real quick. Good God, East Coast, get your S together. That time zone sucks.
Dude, that time zone was a brutal.
I'm just like, why is it 11 o'clock at night? Like, what is going on?
I watched Gonzaga UCLA play basketball at 1 in the morning.
Yep.
I got back to my hotel and was like, I get to watch basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I will say, I think we've had this discussion before where I as an old bartender, as you know, you and I are both the same in that regard. But there would be times where, you know, if I lived in that Eastern time zone, yeah, you know what? It might be nice to be able to look up at like 1 a.m. and still see some NBA on or something.
It's really 50-50 for me. Sometimes I bitch about the East Coast being a terrible time zone, and then sometimes I bitch about the West Coast being a terrible time zone. I want my cake and eat it too, so that's the problem with me.
Same here, because I'm fat.
I want certain... That was great. I want certain sports on at certain times, and I want certain other sports that's on at certain times. Like watching Thursday Night Football, and that's ending at like 10:30, 11 o'clock. Dope. Love that.
Over there? Yeah.
Love that. Love that.
Okay.
But also, I have 7 a.m. soccer games, and that sucks, dude. You know what doesn't suck?
Care.
10 a.m. soccer games. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to wake up at 4 in the morning on my weekend. Sometimes I might wake up at 7.
You done?
I am done.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. East Coast time zone sucks for sports.
But the Spurs take down the Oklahoma City Thunder for their second loss on the season. Their first loss? Portland Trail Blazers.
Hey.
So that means we're as good as the Spurs.
Look, we talked about like which team do you want to try to mimic? The Thunder are already going. If you're talking about timelines and the one you want to be on, like as far as good and accelerating, it's the Spurs.
Well, because you want to be with them. Otherwise, your team will peak when their team peaks. And you got to be on par with them because they could be the next dynasty. And I think you're learning that. They had 4 guys in over 20 points in De'Aaron Fox, Castle, Vassell, and Victor Wembanyama.
And he was good.
He was very, very, very good.
Damn cool.
Very good.
He played 7 minutes in the first half and was like a plus 20.
You were telling me something. He doesn't like Chet Holmgren.
No, they don't like each other at all.
Why? Just because they're in the same draft?
Chet's got some seasoning to him.
Oh, really?
And so there's a little bit of that comes along with it.
I feel like Chet could be a dude that just rubs some people the wrong way.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Look, he's like I said, he has some seasoning to him.
First of all, his name is Chet.
Yeah.
Second of all, he went to GU. You watch your mouth, boy.
Mm-hmm. But
that's my guy.
All I can think of whenever I hear the first name Chet is the janitor at Raleigh Hills Elementary when I was a kid. He's the guy that once you finish your lunch, he'd go around and point to you and tell you, like, all right, you can go out, you can go out. Go throw your tray away, go outside for recess.
But
that was Chet.
Wemby on the floor against the Spurs ended up being a plus 21 in 21 minutes.
That's wild, dude.
He had 22 points, 9 boards, 2 assists, a couple blocks while he was out there. 6 of 11 from the field, knocked down a 3, 9 to 12 from the free throw line. Did you see him hit Cason Wallace with the flex?
Yes, I did.
So he's more than a foot taller. He's like, 15, 16 inches taller than Cason Wallace?
Mm-hmm.
And Cason Wallace kind of looks at him and like smiles like, yeah, dog, I can't do anything with you. J-Dub tried to do it. J-Will tried to do it. You know, there's just no... Victor Wembanyama is arguably the second most unguardable player in the history of the game.
Behind Shaquille.
That's it. That's the list. There's physically nothing you can do with him.
I do wonder if San Antonio's kind of...
Will was probably on there too.
Yeah, but that was more of a...
Plumbers and electricians.
There's a little bit of that.
Fair
He's
enough.
just so much bigger than the entire league that nobody had a chance. Now, you can say the same about Shaq and Wemby in a sense, but you've got a lot of 7-footers. You've got a lot of crazy athletes. Like, you know, it's actually funny on Twitter right now. Somebody just tweeted, a buddy of mine who covers the Lakers was responding to a Laker fan who said, or a Spurs fan who said, Wemby might have been the only guy who could have actually guarded Shaq. And he said something along the lines of, Wemby would have been in the parking lot on the third bump. Like, it's like, yeah, there's nothing. Shaq played for the Lakers at 430 pounds.
If Shaq wanted to, he would have squeezed Wemby between his cheeks.
Yes. Pick which ones.
Also, I thought Arvydas Sabonis was
I
the
felt that
toughest
was
guy to
pretty
ever play
obvious.
Shaq. I thought Shaq always said that Arvydas Sabonis was the hardest guy.
Yao and Sabonis. Those are the only two guys that ever had a chance of guarding him.
I wonder if the Spurs have figured something out here with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, it is in a way that you can't really replicate because there aren't just Wembys lying around. But what they were able to do is they were able to have Wemby down in the paint. Obviously, Wemby is its own character. But they were able to shoot from afar. So they were able to stretch it. So if you take somebody like I don't want to say Minnesota because Gobert can't shoot.
The closest thing is the Knicks with Cat.
Yeah, or maybe the Nuggets because Cat won't play in the paint. But if you could get Jokic to play in the paint a little bit, if they had some three-point shooters on that team, which they kind of don't in Denver.
Cam Johnson's starting to find his groove. Jamal Murray, Christian Braun's been out, Aaron Gordon's been out. So
I wonder if that's the recipe to beat them. Is to have to beat the Thunder.
Well, it's because they do play smaller, but their hands they have the best hands in the NBA. They get really happy and deflect a lot of passes. They generate a lot of steals. But the secret last night was there's some shooting variance. The Thunder were abysmal from three. They were 9 of 37.
Too many threes.
There you go again.
No, actually, there's nobody on this Thunder team that I thought took too many threes.
I mean, SG8 was 1 of 7. Lou was 1 of 6. And that was the thing is like Aaron Wiggins was 0 of 4. Cason Wallace was 1 of 5. They just couldn't hit threes last night. To be fair, the Spurs didn't hit that many more. They were 31%. They were 13 of 42. But I thought what you saw was it's even more than that counter. It's the Spurs are really good defensively. The Spurs are like Steph Castle's a monster defensively.
Well, it helps having a 7'6" center too.
Yes,
because then the paint becomes off limits.
He's the best defensive. I will say this until I am dead. Victor Wembanyama is the best defensive player in the history of the NBA.
But that's why Oklahoma City in a 7-game series against the Spurs might still win it because even though you won't be able to get to the paint, Shea can hit that mid-range all day, every day. You know.
Well, yes and no. With Wemby lurking,
yeah,
it's definitely it's certainly harder.
I think I mean more that the Spurs aren't there yet.
They're a move away, they keep signaling that they're not willing to move either Steph Castle or Dylan Harper for Giannis. I'm a believer that you should.
Oof, that's
but
scary.
We'll see where that goes or if that ends up heading down that path. But
because I think the reason they don't want to is because they don't know if Dylan Harper is that piece.
Yeah,
Dylan Harper might be that piece they're missing.
Well, they have 3 guards right now in Harper, Castle, and Fox. One of them's got to go eventually. That's going to happen because they aren't as big as Wemby is. They're a little thin at the wing spot, so they got to kind of figure that out. But what I really love, do we have the audio from Wemby in the post game? I thought I saw it on there earlier.
You know my good friend Wembanyama.
That one?
No, not that one. There was one in the post game where he basically said like the cup games matter, like that he was about that life, and you know. Some guys show up in big moments, and that's us. We show up in big moments. And he kind of took a little shot at the Thunder in there, too, where he said, he's like, we play ethical hoops.
Got it right here.
There you go.
This is not a typical regular season game because we know if we lose, we're out. You know, some people are built for these moments, some aren't, but we definitely are, and it shows because it's not against anybody that we won that game. So it's just, I feel lucky. I'm glad we have this group because everybody buys into this, and everybody is built for these moments.
I was asking about Coach in San Antonio with the San Antonio guys.
Yeah.
Nobody's quite sure.
Oh, no, I mean, you're following Pop.
Yeah.
And for all
talking about impossible jobs,
for all intents and purposes, Mitch sounds like he's a good coach. He's brought up in the Pop tree, knows it, understands it, seems to embody it.
Doesn't seem crazy like Becky did.
Yeah.
Or does.
Yeah.
Well, say.
To be fair, Ime.
Yeah.
Also,
Ime Udoka. Yeah.
Also, Udoka's nuts.
I like him a lot too.
Oh, he's a great coach.
There's
Nia Long stuff,
weird, creepy stuff in Boston.
But great coach. I mean, it's kind of funny. Becky and Ime.
Yeah,
both
right.
have their own skeletons in their closets.
Issues.
But yeah, no, it's let's see what comes out of that. But I heard Sprague talk about it this morning in like who's going to be the face of the league, and it's not going to be SGA. And it's not Jokic, and it's not Luka, and it's never been an international player. It's always been an American-born guy. Always. I vehemently believe that if it's ever going to happen, it's going to be him, because listen to how he talks. The competitiveness. We talked about this last week, the guys that don't watch games and aren't about the shield, so to speak. They aren't about the brand. Wemby is about the brand. And, like, yes, does he have a little bit of an accent? But when he talks, do you think foreign-born guy or do you just think really big guy?
I think foreign-born guy.
Do you?
Yeah, I can hear the French in his voice.
No, it's because you're Parisian by, hook or crook.
Well, I meet a lot of people, and I was an actor for a long time.
He just likes his Parisian breakfast.
You just want to have a cigarette and a pancake.
No, it's a croissant.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go.
And a Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. People are listening.
Yeah,
I love this. You guys are paying attention.
But it's also because I think it sounds horrible.
It's delicious.
But the idea of him, the competitive nature, being about the brand, his preparation, he's a psycho. Like, I have urged everybody to, like, when the Spurs come to town and Wemby's playing, obviously he didn't play in the last game. He was here. Sorry to everybody who didn't get to see him. But when you see his pregame preparation, he spends an hour and a half doing it every game. And he goes through, this is before he gets to the floor. The stretching, the rolling out, all of the plyometric stuff, the way he takes care of his body. This is a guy that's in bed by 10 o'clock every night, reads books, isn't in the club. Like, he is about basketball. He is a basketball robot. And not like Kawhi. It is there's more to it. It's a machine. Like, he could be the face of the league. Legitimately be the face of the league. And this is why I keep going back to 2028 in the Olympics and why I think France will be the number one team in the world that year.
San Antonio Spurs will take on the New York Knicks for the NBA Cup as they punch their ticket the other night as well.
Think about this really quick. They've been without Wemby for what, 6 weeks? They're 18-7.
Yeah, they're still pretty good. They've got a lot of young talent on that team that can still win games.
If you told me the Spurs were in the Western Conference Finals this year, wouldn't shock me.
Wouldn't shock me. I'd sign up for that. 7 games in this matchup would be fantastic. We come back, everybody's favorite web gems, the legend retires. Calls it a day. 105.1 The Fan.
Sometimes it's good.
Aw, I've interrupted happy time.
Sometimes it's bad.
You son of a...
It's Web Gems.
What'd you do?
The Firm of Harris and Meringue on the Fan Sports Network. 105.1 and 1080 The Fan.
All right, this Web Gems, everybody's favorite. Do it every single day at 11:45. Coming up in the big nooner, we'll get to some NFL action. Phillip Rivers made his reintroduction to the NFL.
We got to watch it live from the San Francisco airport.
Yes, I did watch a lot of that. Bo Nix. Bo Nix.
Trevor Lawrence.
I actually haven't caught any of that yet. In my research, I haven't got to that game yet. Was he good?
6 touchdowns.
Oh, baby. Rusty's Jags looking good.
Touchdown, Jesus.
I saw the
5 passing, 1 rushing.
I saw the score and I was like, I'll check that game out a little later. I
It was a
didn't
good
have it on
one.
the sheet
It was a
today.
good one.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, he was ridiculous.
We have ACLs to get to, and is
And
this
then next week he'll come out and pass for under 50% with 0 touchdowns
and 3 picks?
Yeah.
We have ACLs in the news as well. Plus,
hate it when they're in the news.
Plus, have we reached the end of it? Finally, is the end finally here?
Of Rob Reiner?
Wow.
Was that too dark?
God.
Is that too dark?
It's an A-bomb from A-Rod.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was really dark.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. The end of it. Speaking of the end of an era, Web Gems brought to you by the fine folks over at Wrestling. John Cena's final match was on Saturday as he lost to Gunther, tapped out like a little bitch.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool moment. John Cena's always been the kind of guy. We were talking with Terry Boyd this morning, and he was like, "What? Cena tapped out?" It's like, what you don't understand about that man is he loves the business so much that it's not about him. He's trying to put over another guy. Now, I don't know if I would have had Gunther be his last match. I'm not going to pretend I watch a lot of wrestling. I know who he is.
What they're trying to do is set him up as the career ender.
But Randy Orton's the career ender.
They're Gunther's the new one.
See, I thought Randy Orton should have been the guy to retire John Cena. And it's really funny. In my time watching wrestling, I stopped watching wrestling right before John Cena showed up. And then I started watching again, and Cena wasn't in wrestling. So I literally watched no John Cena. I do enjoy him.
I've watched more John Cena in The Peacemaker than I have in wrestling.
I really enjoyed John Cena as a character. Like, whether he's a wrestler or an actor. Look, it'll be hilarious when he's like 55 and plays some super accredited award-winning film and he like wins an Oscar or something crazy like that.
I mean, like The Rock and
But
was it
the
Smashing Machine?
But like what he does, who he is, he's a breath of fresh air when it comes to celebrities for sure. And I'm glad that even though the wrestling fans will lose him, that we still got him doing stuff, and that's why he's not doing wrestling.
He's the world record holder for most visits to Make-A-Wish. What's it, like 900 something?
It's something insane.
I think he's got the title like by a lot, too. By a lot.
He's just, I don't want to say he's a good dude, but like
nobody is a good dude.
But he gets it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
he's a good dude. And
Diego Pavia doesn't get it. John Cena gets it.
John Cena has bad fake hair too, and we're like down with it.
Yeah, but at least he's not trying to pimp out his mom.
That's true.
To a comedian.
That's true. I'm excited to see what's next for John Cena because I'll tell you what.
A lot more movies.
You know, I'm not the biggest Rock fan as an actor. Dwayne Johnson. I'm not the biggest Dwayne Johnson fan, but I love Bautista.
Oh, yeah. And he said
Dave Bautista is great.
And he said he's done doing movies now.
Really?
Yeah, he made on the flight. I watched the new Naked Gun with Liam Neeson. Nice little ode to Naked Gun. It was entertaining, but Bautista makes a bit appearance in there, and that was basically supposed to be it.
So is he going to do TV, or is he just done?
I think he's just done doing stuff.
Really?
Yeah, because there was what was that stupid Stuber? Did you see that?
No, I saw the preview. It looked terrible.
I did. It was terrible too.
But he was funny in it.
Yeah,
like
but
that's
I mean,
what I'm like.
But it was.
Oh, it was a terrible movie. But like
a terrible movie.
He plays this small character in the beginning of Blade Runner 2049. It's like this older guy and like remote, isolated. And I watched that, and I think he was only in the movie for like 10 minutes. And I watched that character, and I said, Bautista is a damn good actor. This guy's got it coming.
Maybe that's what he does. Is he does bit parts now?
Yeah,
just not.
Or he's just going to really sit around and wait for good scripts.
Yeah.
But I like Cena because
he's going to go into his Bill Murray mode.
I like Cena because
Zombieland.
he's funny. He's goofy.
Oh, he's great. Have you watched Peacemaker yet?
No, I haven't.
Brother, you've got to.
Rusty told me that I got to watch.
You've got to.
I do. I enjoy that show. I really do. It's yeah.
It's raunchy, but it's good.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what I watched on the plane, Rusty, from Baltimore to San Francisco?
Oh, please.
Just hold on. What's the most I'm a film guy movie you could watch on an airplane?
I had 6.5 hours to.
Oh God! So are we? What are we? Like a Wes Anderson movie or something?
No. Good answer, but no.
Yeah.
Older classic.
What's the classic?
What?
Long plane flight.
Okay, I don't. Yeah, I feel like you guys are backing me into a corner, and I can't get out of it.
I watched The Godfather Part 1 and Part 2.
Ooh, that's hey. You know what?
Like I might go watch 3 tonight.
You know who knows?
If you got some time, you
know who knows he watched it?
Yeah, I think,
everybody he's run into.
Yeah. It's like, how was Army Navy? I was like, Army Navy was great. I watched Godfather Part 1 and Part 2 on the flight home. I watched Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid on the way there.
Yeah.
Ooh,
it was
solid.
excellent.
I will say though too, one thing that we got into this weekend, my wife and I, my daughter, she's in 8th grade, she's 13, and she made us start watching. I've always tried to hold off on some of these grown-up animated shows and such, like Family Guy. That's a bit much for me, right? But Bob's Burgers.
Oh yeah, H. John Benjamin.
Yeah,
Yep.
we started watching some Bob's Burgers, and by God, that stuff is hilarious.
Get into Archer, man.
It is hilarious. I love me some Bob's Burgers.
All right, let's get into the big nooner here. We'll get over to the NFL. An ACL and maybe the end of a dynasty. We'll do that next. 105.1 The Fan.
firm of Harris and Meringue.
I do have a giant segment.
The opening week of the college football playoff is upon us with Patrick Harris.
Sure is nice to pile on some old pancakes and syrup after a night of beer drinking, isn't it?
And Danny Meringue.
Hell, man. Grandmother's quicker and tougher than you pansies. Of course, she's 6'3", 250. I'm 4'5", 40.
This is the firm of Harris and Meringue. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by Video Only on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM, 1080 AM, The Fan.
All right, 2 down, 1 to go here. Portland Sports Leader, don't you forget it. Coming up after us, you'll get Duck Insider from 1 to 2. The Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson from 2 to 3, and then you know it, baby. It's prime time. From 3 to 7 to take you all the way home, finishing up 13 hours of live, continuous, local, regional sports talk radio right here, 105.1 The Fan. It's also the Odyssey app. If you missed anything, you can go back and check that out. Danny made a harsh comment about Rob Reiner.
Mm-hmm.
Got some people fired up.
Yeah,
if you want to go hear that, you can check that out.
Build a bridge, get over it.
News of the weekend would be that the Kansas City Chiefs are eliminated from the NFL playoffs. Now, Chris Jones doesn't know that, but the rest of us know that.
You hate to see it. Hate to see it.
But we'll start with the real news that comes out of this game. I did not have on my bingo card bigger news from the Kansas City game than Kansas City being eliminated from the playoff contention, and that would be that Patrick Mahomes has a torn ACL. Andy Reid said today that he is on his way to Texas to get a second opinion, while most people think he is shopping for who's going to get him back to week 1.
Mm-hmm.
This is the interesting thing about Patrick Mahomes is he's dodged this a lot. Mm-hmm. He's had some ankle stuff. He's had some nicks and some bruises.
But he's dodged the injury.
He's dodged the big injury. He'll take some hits. He'll do some silly, stupid stuff. He's gotten a lot better about that over the years. But this is his first big one, and it'll be interesting. His recovery process will be interesting how he goes forward in this. A fun little stat for you guys. Did you know that Tom Brady tore his ACL in his 9th NFL season?
Oh, no way. Coming off of a Super Bowl loss?
Did you know that Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL in his 9th season? Oh, no. Coming off a Super Bowl loss? The GOATs. Just the GOATs.
So that means that the Chiefs' next quarterback that will come in and fill in will go like 10-5 or so, miss the playoffs, and then go somewhere else and not earn a big contract.
Mm-hmm.
That is correct. You are speaking of USC's own Matt Castle.
That would be right.
That would be correct. I do not expect Gardner Minshew to somehow miraculously win 10 games over the next 3 weeks. But he is the backup. He is the backup. So, I mean, I guess I got more excitement to watch Chiefs games for me, at least. What's the bigger deal?
Big ass boy.
What's the bigger deal to you, Danny? Is it the Mahomes ACL or is it out of the playoffs?
It's ACL. The Chiefs weren't good this year to begin with. We all know that.
And I kind of wonder if it's actually the larger story is the Chiefs being done, because I think there's a lot of this team needs a lot of help.
Yeah.
Obviously, Mahomes with an ACL tear is not going to help anything, but this team needs a ton of help. They need offensive line. That whole thing needs to get rebuilt. They start 3 undrafted guys. Mm-hmm. Now, one of them turned out to be one of the best offensive line in the NFL, but they got 3 undrafted guys on there. They had another guy go down in the game this weekend, so they've got a backup in there. And I've said this many, many times. I don't love their weapons.
No, Kelsey is great in name. Xavier Worthy's great if he's your third guy. You know, Hollywood Brown is fine, but they don't have a number one.
I'm not a Rashee Rice guy. I mean, I think these guys are all talented, and I think they're on NFL rosters without a doubt. You know, it's funny, if you look at Travis Kelce's numbers this year, they look pretty good.
No, he's fine, but like he's not the same threat that he was.
No, and
just wait till they go draft Kenyon Sadiq.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Can Kenyon Sadiq go play right now so I can see Minshew throw the ball to Sadiq? That would get me going.
Well, why would you want to do Kenyon Sadiq like that?
Why do you want to do the big-ass boy like that?
I love Gardner, but...
I actually worry about this Kansas City Chiefs team. I think they've got a lot of issues. Outside of Chris Jones, that defense could use some more pass rush. Spagnuolo's a great defensive coordinator. There's no doubt.
There's people out now wondering if Andy Reid's cooked, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Their roster's pretty beat up. It's had a lot of turnover. They've been to a lot of Super Bowls. They've been to a lot of AFC title games. Like, eventually, Father Time gets there, y'all.
I think I heard this morning they're slated for the 11th pick in the draft right now.
Sounds about right. But also,
It's a nice draft pick.
If you're worried about Andy Reid being cooked, I also heard on this morning's, everybody's favorite morning show, Andy Reid has a higher postseason winning percentage than Bill Belichick. No. I'm sorry. That's false. In terms of getting to the conference championship game and or Super Bowl,
46%
has a
of his
higher
career.
percentage of doing that than Bill Belichick does.
Well, he did it 4 years in Philly, 4 years in a row, and finally broke through and got into one. Now they lost to said Patriots.
And said that, but that now, including this year, it will tie him with Bill Belichick for that. It's 44% of his season.
Andy Reid's one of the 5 best coaches in NFL history.
He's one of the 3 best coaches in NFL history.
I say 5 just because somebody always wants to throw somebody else in there. But yeah,
you're looking at half of your career.
Yes.
Half of your career
is spent in
you
the
make
conference
a conference championship game and or Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This is the first year since 1998 that there is no quarterback in the playoffs named Mahomes, Brady, or Manning.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of wild.
I'm old.
27 years.
Yeah, Manning was a rookie that year. He did not make the playoffs that year. Brady was at Michigan.
Mahomes was
middle
5. School. Yeah.
Kermit the Frog here.
That's a good Kermit.
That's a pretty good Kermit,
That's
dude.
a pretty good Kermit.
Yeah.
I hope for a speedy recovery of Mahomes because I think he's great for the league.
Yeah,
He's
look,
the face of the league.
I hate the Chiefs. I don't want to see him injured, man.
No.
Like, that's not fun. That's not cool.
No, but I wonder if this is a precursor. Does this mean, obviously depends on how they draft and what their offseason acquisitions look like. But I don't know if anybody's going to be real high on them next year going to the playoffs. I don't think so at all. I think there's too many unknown questions on this team right now. And look, if you do end up picking 11, because right now that Mahomes is out, tank. Because if you could somehow get into the top 10, if you could somehow get to 8, now I know the teams at the bottom are really bad.
You're not catching my Raiders.
The teams at the bottom are really, really bad. But if you can go, somebody needs a quarterback, they might trade up. Because I'll tell you what, at 11, they're not taking Kenyon Sadiq. They're not taking him at 11.
No, that's where he's going to go. Sadiq's, that's where he's slated to go.
They're talking like
10 through 14.
First round.
Really?
10 through 14 is where Sadiq is slotted.
I think the first mock draft I saw had Sadiq at like 18
Well, and
going
I
to
think
KC.
it's because it's
everybody thinks that they are going to take Sadiq.
Well, and it's not just that he's such a ridiculous tight end, but it's that he's a ridiculous tight end plus.
Yeah.
And you can go in, you can put him in the slot. He plays like a wide receiver.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and he is also a very willing blocker. He's
There's a 3-way tie between who loves Kenyon Sadiq more, between myself, Dan Lanning, and Mrs. Sadiq, Mama Sadiq.
There we go.
Like I love the man. I just didn't realize that they would grab him that high.
Yeah, I mean he's not Brock Bowers-esque in the sense of like how teams view him, but he's the next like level down. Like the teams love him.
Yeah, they're going to have a huge draft. It's going to be a very, very important draft for the Kansas City Chiefs to shore up those holes. It'll be more, what's your second round pick? What's your third round pick? That's what I'd love to know. Do you sell off some of your bottom picks to go up and go heavy in the third and fourth round? Second, third, fourth round?
I sell off my bottom all the time.
Mm-hmm. For a little bit. Maybe less than you'd expect.
Getting higgy with it.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
Look, the Chiefs, they're hitting the same cycle the Patriots did. Everyone wants to talk about the Patriots dynasty. There was years they went through that they weren't that team.
Mm-hmm.
Still good.
And they had to go through and retool
Yes.
and find a couple other pieces to plug and play.
There were
and-
years that Pittsburgh got through. There were years that Indianapolis got through.
The Broncos
got through. Like the Ravens got through.
Mm-hmm.
Like there were times, there's little blurbs. Look, we're realizing, and we should know this a lot better because, take the Golden State Warriors, for example. You can be a dynasty without winning it back to back to back to back to back.
The Spurs and the Patriots are the
great.
two best examples of it. You have a pillar. With the Patriots, it was Brady. With the Spurs, it was Duncan. You have a pillar that everything else is built around. And with all of these, also a coach, Pop in San Antonio, Belichick in New England, and now Andy Reid in Kansas City. You have the
Steve
structure.
Kerr in Golden State.
Yes, and Steph. That's when you have those things and everything is in alignment. General manager, ownership, all of those things, you can continue to get there. And for the Chiefs, this is probably their pivot point. Can they get it? If they don't, what is the thing we always say about dynasties? They don't end nicely.
No, they don't. They don't. It'll be a nice offseason for them. They can finally stop and take a breath and watch some football instead of worrying about where they got to go. All right, when we come back, let's slide over to Denver. That's a statement win as they took on the Packers and beat them. Bo Nix, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NFL 105.1 The Fan. You can't count on much, but you can't always count on Sundays with the NFL and CBS on Paramount Plus. Stream your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long, starting at just $30 for your first year. That's like $250 a month. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
You and Nance, baby. Hitting those reads.
Me and Nance. I liked. Thank you for the compliment. Nah, Jim Nance is no Patrick Harris. Let's be real here. Nah, I kid. Thank you for the compliment. Jim Nance is the GOAT of all goats of goats of goats.
It was funny. We were watching the game at the airport, and I hear the read, and I just like. There's an episode of Family Guy where Cleveland and Quagmire get locked up and like chained up in a basement, and the only thing that's playing on the TV is the Comcast support line. And it's on repeat, and it gets them at the very end of the episode. And they're like, if you or a friend needs support with your Comcast support line, call this number. And they're just like trance-reading it. Like when that read came up, I just started like saying it out loud, like mimicking it as we're going through. I'm like, oh my God, what just happened to me?
It's the radio business, guys. It's the radio business.
The reads, they just get to you.
The Denver Broncos take down the Green Bay Packers 34-26. This game was hotly contested going into halftime.
It's a good game.
It was a very, very good game. That Denver defense really started to show up and really kind of put the handles on Jordan Love, who kind of struggled a little bit in that second half to get things going. Look, I was impressed by the Packers in the first half of this game because I did not think that offense, which sometimes can be a little MIA.
Well, they spread the ball around everyone.
And then other times look, full on worldly. I was surprised they were able to move the ball against the Denver Broncos. But another ACL situation happens, and it is confirmed that Micah Parsons does have a torn ACL, which will put him in the same world as Patrick Mahomes. The only difference is Green Bay had not a Houston, Denver, Seattle style of defense, but a pretty damn good one that could have taken them pretty far. And Micah was what you win all in on this year.
Yep, and that's the thing. It's going to probably end up biting them, and because
so.
That offense has been inconsistent. You've leaned on that defense all year, and Mike is the guy that Myles Garrett is going to run away with Defensive Player of the Year. But on any
Michael
other
will finish second.
Any other given year, Micah Parsons was the second most disruptive player in the NFL this year.
Yeah, losing him is going to be really, really tough. And when you watch the play, you know it. It's non-contact. He was chasing Bo.
Opponents, Patrick Surtain, a couple other Broncos defenders. I think it might have been Dre Greenlaw came up to him and gave him the pat like,
sorry, dog.
Sucks, dog. Like, here's the difference between his and Mahomes. Mahomes, we didn't know. Like,
he got hit weird.
Yeah, and he kind of got like. I think it was defender's leg kind of got between his or shoulder got behind his leg.
He did the knee moves to the side when it shouldn't.
Yeah, but it didn't look heinous. Parsons, when you saw it, you went, yeah,
that guy. He tried to turn
and it buckled, and you went, even though it was non-contact, the way he went down, you went, yep. When Mahomes went down, you're like, what happened there? You didn't really know. With Parsons, you just knew.
It didn't help the camera was just panned on Bo, on a bootleg out, and there's Micah trying to pivot and turn to catch him, and then
it just didn't go. Yeah.
But let's flip over to that. Bo Nix had probably the best game of his career.
I mean, there's no probably about it.
I mean, this is what you hope for.
Another first quarter though, where
I know. But again, I'll tell you what, man.
Fourth quarter, the dude is a dude.
The difference between Bo Nix and Jalen Hurts is Bo Nix plays well in the second half. Jalen Hurts does not right now. If you're a Broncos fan and talking with some Denver people over our weekend about, because I always want to ask stuff that pertains to back here. What do you think about Bo Nix? Because we got Oregon fans who love Bo. They love Bo in Denver.
They don't love Sean Payton.
They do not love Sean Payton. They love Bo Nix. To be fair, they don't like Sean Payton as a human.
Yes.
But they, he's a damn good coach. But they're way in on Bo, and I was surprised to hear that because Bo can be mechanical. He can be a little weirdo. And he kind of plays
the old Bobot.
He kind of plays reckless free football. He might not wow you with throws, but he's not really gonna screw the game up with throws. That was a game where he let it air out, and he looked like he could be something that I never thought he could be. What do I always say about Bo? Coming into the draft, he was the guy that had the lowest ceiling, but he had the highest floor. Bo is gonna start. Bo's gonna play in this league for a long time. Now, whether he's a starter or a backup, that remains to be seen. But he is gonna play in this league, and this, for the first time, showed me he might be the franchise guy. I was asked, does he reset the quarterback market when he comes free agent? And we all agreed, no. But he will get paid. And they will ride with him.
What the Broncos did this weekend was keep him clean. Packers didn't touch him. I mean, they just didn't get to him at all. No sacks. I think they had 3 QB hits. Yeah. They kept him clean all day long. Bo was able to sit back there and get it done. And that was the difference in that game, is that Packers defense has been pretty damn good about getting pressures and being impactful and being disruptive on the back end. And Bo had time, and he made throw after throw after throw.
And I think you and I both agree that we're not in love with their weapons.
No, not at all.
I am not the biggest Cortland Sutton guy, but dude, 7 catches for 113 yards. Troy Franklin had a great game. 6 catches for 85 yards. This is the benefit you have of trusting a quarterback who doesn't really make mistakes. Spread the ball around. They couldn't really run the football that well, but they still stuck with it a little bit. And that's that Sean Payton offense. And this Denver team just showed me this weekend they can win the whole damn thing. I think they can win the whole damn thing.
I don't think so yet.
I think they can win.
I can see Air getting there.
I think they can win in a way that the Baltimore Ravens won, and I'm not talking about Dilfer. I'm talking about Flacco. Because Flacco is elite and a Hall of Fame quarterback. And
that playoff run, he was
great.
Unreal.
He was absolutely fantastic. I think Bo can do that same thing, and these Denver Broncos can do it. Why not? They're balanced. They got one of the best defenses in the NFL, and this offense is starting to come alive. And I'd rather have this offense come alive now than come alive early and start to sputter out right now. This is a dangerous team.
How you're playing and when you're playing matters.
I think we'll talk about Superman Josh tomorrow, but the Patriots losing a game is a big window for Denver here. And they can lock this thing up.
They smacked Drake May around in that second half.
And I don't think you really want to go to Denver. You know, not just the altitude stuff, but add the altitude stuff into how nasty this defense is playing, and a quarterback who's not making mistakes, and a Hall of Fame coach who's already won a Super Bowl. Oh, this team could lock it up, and I love the YouTube comments. They could win the Super Bowl and still be the most fraudulent 12-2 team you've ever seen.
I still stand.
I think this team is really, really damn good.
I think they're good too. They're a more balanced team, but I'm more scared of the Texans.
Yeah, I get it. I know, and their defense is definitely better than Denver's. We'll see. That the offense in Houston is still a question for me. I know they put up a lot.
I 100% agree.
Arizona is a bad team. But I'm really in on this Denver Broncos team right now.
Not there. Maybe that's my bias, because I do hate that team.
I don't root for him either. John Elway was one of the easiest guys to root against if you weren't a Broncos fan. But there's something about this Broncos team that I really, really like. They're getting juice.
I love their defense.
Getting juice.
I love their defense.
I would love to see Broncos
Texans.
Bills in a playoff game for a little revenge game from last year, because the Bills blew out. Remember Denver made the playoffs, and it was kind of like, it might be a little ahead of schedule, and then they got, I think final score was like 30-3.
They got hammered.
I would like to see a rematch.
That'd be a good little matchup. I like that.
Because we're starting to get there. We're starting to think about playoff matchups.
Yeah, I tell you what, coming out of this weekend, the thing that stood out to me was the big time showdowns. Packers, Broncos, Lions, Rams. Like you had some big time games that, I mean, Seahawks, Colts, well, not great football, was a great matchup. And you had great games this weekend. The NFL was a banger this weekend.
It really, really was. It really, really was. Get your thoughts in. 503-864-6326 is the fan text line or the YouTube chat. I'll read some of those when we come back. But first, let me turn it over to Rusty with sports.
This is the firm of Harris and Meringue. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by Video Only. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update is brought to you by Langdon Farms Golf Club. Good or bad weather, the golf course always the driest around. Download the Langdon Farms app today to get all the latest news and specials. First on the Fan, Week 15 in the NFL wrapping up tonight. The Steelers hosting the Dolphins for Monday Night Football. It's a 5:15 kick on ESPN. Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers are 3-point favorites. Chiefs head coach Andy Reid says an MRI on Patrick Mahomes showed no major damage to other knee ligaments, only the torn ACL. Mahomes now expected to have surgery later this week. The Jets have fired defensive coordinator Steve Wilks, ending his tenure in New York after only 14 games. Defensive backs coach and passing game coordinator Chris Harris has been named the interim DC. Meanwhile, over in college ball, 4 Oregon Ducks named All-Americans by the Associated Press. Offensive lineman Emmanuel Pregnon, he's a first-teamer. Tight end Kenyon Sadiq and defensive back Dylan Thieneman are on the second team. And offensive lineman Iapani Laolulu, I'll get that one of these days, made the third team. The Trailblazers now off for a couple more days after beating the Warriors for the third time this year. They host the Kings Thursday night. Portland now 10-16 on the season, 11th, in the Western Conference. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Russ from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson. Weekdays 2 to 3. The Fan Sports Network. 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
503-864-6326 is the fan text line. I'd like to read this text. Injuries decided this game. The Packers offense is dynamic with Christian Watson playing. Without, they're limited. Parsons was pressuring Bo all day, and once he was out, they couldn't pressure Bo enough. I'm right with you there on the Packers offense. The Watson situation is tough, but we've seen even with Watson in games, Jordan Love can be a top 10 quarterback, a top 5 quarterback. And we've seen with Watson and Jordan Love be a really mediocre quarterback. And I think the loss of Kraft is definitely huge. I'd love to see Josh Jacobs try to get the ball rolling more in the run game. I have a lot of issues with the Packer offense, and I don't know if it's personnel. I think a lot of it is Matt LaFleur in my book. He doesn't seem to be getting out of everybody like he should be able to. And to the Micah Parsons part, Micah wasn't getting to Bo before that. And Bo started making big-time NFL throws late in that game. And that's why that's just where I sit on it.
Yeah, I don't think the Packers were doing it nearly enough. I mean, I just got done talking about how little they got to him and how little disruption they had.
Mm-hmm. And losing Mike is a big deal.
It is.
There's no doubt about that. And the game probably is not, it's not an 8-point game. Mm-hmm. It might be a little closer. Packers might still have a chance to win, kick a field goal, something like that in the end. I just thought Bo and that offense held up their end of the bargain, and the defense was able to clamp down in the end.
No, go.
You were going to say?
No,
I was going to change subject.
No, you're good. Yeah.
Okay. The old man is back,
Mm-hmm.
but tell you, they found the kryptonite for the old man. You know what it is?
What is that?
Just kick field goals.
There you go.
Seahawks defeat the Indianapolis Colts in kind of a weirdly close, compelling game, despite like the score and the situation not really talking to you. Phillip Rivers, 18 of 27, 120 yards, a TD, and an interception.
The only passing touchdown of the game, and the interception doesn't really count. It's the end of the game.
Yeah.
Just trying to make something happen.
The touchdown was just a great play call.
Yeah.
Yeah, just he's right there. He's going to beat the DB and get in and score. Look, I loved seeing Phillip Rivers on the field. He took his helmet off, and I was like, dude, he looks like Phillip Rivers on the field.
Still looks like him.
Still looks like him.
And in the uniform, he looks like Jared Lorenzen out there.
A little thicker.
He's got the old Patrick Harris chin kind of thing coming
Pillsbury
around.
throw boy.
Little bit there, a little bit there. I am not surprised Seattle won this football game. I think they are the better team than Indianapolis. Although massive shout out to the Indianapolis Colt defense.
I mean, they're good. They're a really good defense.
Good.
We've talked about that. Like before Jones went down, like this was a fully complete team.
But I think for me the biggest story of this game is Sam Darnold. I have been a Seahawk kind of honk on this program this year. I've picked them to win the division. I really like what their defense is, and I've enjoyed Sam Darnold for the most part, despite leading the league in turnovers. There were some throws. We were watching the game together, and there were some throws that were just behind guys that could have been touchdowns. And I thought Sam had a rough day, and I don't know if it was Indianapolis's defense really giving him pain.
Just a beat late on stuff.
Or he was just off.
Yeah.
And the opposite of the conversation I'm having about Denver being this fantastic team that if Bo plays like that, look out. And then Seattle, my worry is that Sam Darnold plays like that. And that's an uh-oh.
I think I'm more worried about the running game.
In Seattle?
Yeah.
And why is that?
I mean, they ran the ball 22 times, 50 yards.
Yeah. They bailed on it.
They could not run the ball. Their longest run of the day was 8 yards.
And that's tough. And that's a testament to that Indianapolis defense. That might be the game plan against Seattle going into the playoffs is make Sam Darnold beat you. There are times when Sam Darnold does beat you.
I wouldn't play with that fire. I would make them run the ball. That's what I would do.
Really? But they want to run the ball.
I would make them run the ball because I don't think they're good enough at it.
Seattle.
Yeah.
So you think Seattle struggles on running the football yesterday?
Who are you more terrified of? Jackson Smith and Jigba or Charbonnet and Walker?
Well, totally it's JSN. Without a doubt it's JSN. I guess
I'd rather sit back in coverage and make them work the ball just 4 yards in a cloud of dust. I would rather sit back in coverage than let Sam Darnold and JSN try to pick me apart.
Because I think if Seattle gets that running game going, they've shown that it can be explosive. Like make the offense more explosive. Like the tail is old time. The run pass off, the RPOs.
All those kind of things. But I would rather sit back in coverage against that team.
just to make sure they don't beat you.
Because JSN and Shaheed now are
Dude, Shaheed looks like the pickup of the year right now.
When we were watching that game, he had a couple big. You were like, man, Darnold really hasn't done anything, and yeah, he ended up throwing a couple balls behind guys, but then he also hit Shaheed twice in a row to make big plays.
He really did. He really did. Right now, JSN has 1,541 yards. Can he do it? It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
What's the total?
Shoot, I just had it. I'm sorry. Hold, please. 1,541.
Probably not.
So he needs 459. Look at that math on the fly. 459 yards
in 3 games
to get to 2,000 in 3 games. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, probably not.
Gonna be tough. Rams and Panthers too. But look, hey, this sets up. You know, we'll talk a little Rams tomorrow, in their big win over the weekend. But this sets up the Thursday night matchup.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be the best Thursday night of the game, and I for one am so stoked for it and can't wait to catch Rams Seahawks on a Thursday night game. Part deux. Because these teams in theory are firing in all cylinders. We'll see how this offense kind of figures it out on their way in.
Do we know the uniform matchup yet?
I hope they're old school.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Because I feel like they always try to do something special on these Thursday night games.
I'd like
especially for the divisional games.
I'd like a double throwback. I'd be good with that.
I think the Seahawks throwback should be their current.
Yeah,
they should just rock those.
Definitely don't go highlighter.
I did like the Rams one from a couple of weeks ago where it looked like it was black, but what do they call it? Midnight blue.
Yeah,
the midnight blue.
Yeah, it's a good look.
Those did look good.
I didn't care for those. I didn't care for those. I thought the when it changed from the midnight blue to their actual blue was pretty clunky. 22 of 36, 271, no tuds, no interceptions. I mean, didn't turn the ball over.
No,
that's a plus.
Didn't make the air.
That's a plus. I'm just worried.
And you had 2 kickers that just hit absolute bangers. We had a Colts fan in the airport with us who, we
watched his heart get ripped out.
Yeah, he bangs a 60-yarder, and you're like, damn. And then here comes Myers.
6 of 6.
It's a good day.
With a 56 in the end to seal the deal.
Good day at the office.
Seahawks defeat the Colts 18-16. When we come back, closing arguments to send you on your way. It's going to be a cold one tonight at Casey's Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll chat a little Monday Night Football, and we'll wrap up the day. 105.1 The Fan.
First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by Video Only on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM, 1080 AM. The Fan. The firm of Harris and Meringue is wrapping up for the day.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled.
Which means it's time for the closing arguments. Brought to you by Leskin Law. One-day divorce mediation. Peace treaties, not war plans. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information.
You want answers? I want the truth.
On the Fan Sports Network.
You can't handle the truth.
105.1 and 1080, The Fan.
All right, that's going to do it for us. We'll send you on your way. This is Closing Arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information. Coming up on the program tomorrow, we'll get into some portal action. DJ Lagway has announced that he is entering the portal. Also, Dylan Raiola. We'll see how that goes. We'll have a little bit of leftovers from the NFL. Josh Allen playing Superman. What the Niners are going to do with their wide receiver issue. And then we'll talk a little bit about Ducks going into the college football playoff plus free consultation, which is a great thing as always. Tonight, Monday Night Football. I almost said Thursday night. I have no idea. I'm in your world now, Danny. I have no idea what
days
day
are blending.
Yeah. I will get back on track. It is Monday today. The Miami Dolphins are going to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look, guys, it's going to be cold.
It's cold as hell. That river is frozen over. Have you seen the flyovers?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
The river's frozen solid.
I just read that it was cold. So
it's going to, real feel is going to be 8 degrees.
Let's see. Where is this? I found this little nuggie. We all know that Tua is not great in the cold. But Tua is 0-5 when the temperature is below 40 degrees.
Yeah, it's going to be colder than that.
Remember, weren't they in KC last year?
Yeah, when they froze over.
And it was like 18 degrees, 6 degrees, something wild like that. I'm interested in this game, though, not just from the cold standpoint. I mean, Tua's been so rough in cold weather that makes it difficult. But there's a lot on the line for both these teams. If Miami loses, they're out. I mean, I don't think anybody thinks they're like going on some sort of run. But did you know that Mike McDaniel is like a top 3 Vegas odd for Coach of the Year? If he keeps this going, I thought I heard something like that the other day because they're so impressed with what he's done with this team and considering how bad they were to begin the year.
No.
Well, no, of course.
No.
Well, of course not. I just think it's fascinating that amongst writers and his peers and stuff, people think that he's done a pretty good job. And I mean, I remember when their GM was fired, Stephen Ross was worried about firing McDaniel because he was worried that he's going to go get a job somewhere else and be great.
I will say it is amazing to go from, first 4 or 5 weeks in the season to being one of the favorites to get fired.
Dude, they were a dumpster fire.
To now all of a sudden be like, oh, you might be Coach of the Year.
They're 5-1 in their last 6. They have beat the Falcons, the Bills. That was the
big one. They hung with the Bills earlier in the year.
But they squeaked by the Commanders, they squeaked by the Saints, and they beat the crap out of the Jets. Like, I don't care.
Well, I know. I get it. I'm not saying they're contenders.
To quote the place where Mike McDaniel once worked at and all the televisions that were in there, I keep forgetting we're not in love anymore.
Yeah, I just...
No.
Things will never be the same again.
No.
I keep forgetting. Mike McDonald did.
I know, but no.
Well, I know, but you got to give me more than just no.
No, I don't.
You're just like, no.
No, it's exactly what I'm going to do. It's just no.
In case you're not aware, we do still have like 5 or 6 more minutes.
Yeah,
to
no,
fill.
it's no. The whole idea of putting him in there, it's like it's a non-starter.
The Pittsburgh Steelers really need this win as well. If they drop to 7-7, that's a tie with the Baltimore Ravens. I think they own the tiebreaker on that, but they could see this slip away. You're in a position right now where I don't know what the expectations were for the Pittsburgh Steelers going into this year. A lot of chatter about Mike Tomlin, obviously, but I think if they could win this game, put another game between them, them and Baltimore, that puts them in a better spot because I think as the thing gets closer down to the year, if Buffalo starts appearing in the rearview mirror, you might not like that very much.
Well, after the Dolphins, you close with at the Lions, at the Browns, and against the Ravens.
That's a tough schedule.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough schedule. The Browns, I assume, would be an okay win, but you never know. It's division stuff, and the AFC North is a weirder division than really anybody else is in terms of their history with each other and how hard they play each other, how much they hate each other, etc., that I wouldn't say the Browns are necessarily a gimme win. Now, if Shedeur Sanders plays the way he played yesterday, that's a gimme win. By the way, are we all excited here that Shedeur sucks? Are you excited about that or not?
I saw some people, that were early on when wow, my voice just went out. When Jerry Jeudy had a ball bounce off his chest and turn an interception, like, are we going to blame Shedeur for that? No, I'm going to blame Shedeur for everything else that he did wrong. That's what I'm going to blame Shedeur for.
I'm not going to pile on him. I'm not going to be
pile on him.
I'm not going to be like, I'm glad that he is failing horrifically.
No, I'm not that way either.
But did I maybe see it coming? Sure.
He's a 5th-round quarterback. What do you want? He holds on to the ball too long. He doesn't have a good arm release.
He was 18 of 35 for $177 and 3 picks. If you want to say the one that Jeudy gave up is on Jeudy, fine. So he was 18 of 35 for $177 and 2 picks.
Some other little nuggies to throw around for you guys today. Colts have announced Phillip Rivers will remain QB1 for Monday Night Football against the Niners. The Jets fire their defensive coach. Back to this Rivers thing.
Mm-hmm. Is anybody more excited that he's going to be the starter than his wife?
Keep riding that train.
Well, just
taking a break.
She's taking a break.
Taking a break
from riding that train.
I want this Rivers thing as long as possible, if I'm being honest.
Oh, it's great. I love it. I love it.
It's absolutely fantastic. I was a Charger fan for a long time. I've watched a lot of Phillip Rivers play
great
football.
Content.
But I'm curious what Indianapolis's approach is with it. Does he continue to start here until they're out of it?
I mean, he reset his Hall of Fame clock, so might as well.
Or does he honestly give you the best chance to win? It's an interesting.
He does give them the best chance to win, even when Richardson comes back.
I think so too, because Richardson, the athlete, is obviously worldly, worldly as an athlete, but he's got a 2-cent head. But Rivers, I mean, did you see him scramble when the pocket collapsed and he
just
went
fell
forward?
over?
Oh man, dude, it was pretty rough. I kind of felt bad for the guy.
He kind of laughed about it too, like,
of course he had to laugh about it.
I'm 44 and I'm old. So
let's see. Do we have that in the system? What he did? Did you throw that on? This is on him coming back in the game.
I was enjoying myself kind of down there being coach in South Alabama, but these kind of things don't come up. But obviously this doesn't come up every day. But I think maybe, maybe it will, I don't know, inspire or teach, to not to run or be scared of what may or may not happen, Hopefully, certainly I think of my sons and those ball players, that I'm in charge of at the school, that they'll say, like, crap, coach wasn't scared. You know what I mean? It's like, shoot, sometimes there is doubt, and it's real. Again, the guaranteed safe bet is to go home or to not go for it. And the other one is, shoot, let's see what happens. And so, I hope that in that sense that it can be a positive to some young boys, or young people. It doesn't have to be boys, but again, that's not the motivation.
Yeah,
dang.
Shoot, dang,
shoot, dang. I did hear him throw a crap in there.
Oh, that's when he gets spicy.
Yeah,
that's spicy Rivers.
That was pretty picante for Phillip Rivers.
I do love though. It's basically a Disney movie. Like, the boys that I'm in charge of, coaches out there doing stuff. It's like, this guy's out there coaching football while playing football.
That'd be so wild. Like, obviously, you would get over the concept that Phillip Rivers is your coach at your high school, but just like, okay, well, he's from here, I get it. Everybody knew he's from there, blah blah blah. But then it's like, wait, coach isn't at practice today, and the OC is like, no, the Colts called him up.
Yeah, no, he's gonna go start for the Colts.
He's gonna go start for the Colts. Like, where does your brain go in that moment when you're like, my coach isn't, Mom, coach isn't here this week, and she's like, why isn't your coach there?
You know where it goes?
Yeah, dang.
Yeah, it's because he's playing in the NFL, Mom.
Right?
Mom.
Batman.
Get the camera, Mom.
All right. Thanks for being a part of our day. Closing Arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information. Leskin Law's one-day divorce mediation. Peace treaties, not war plans. We will catch you all tomorrow. Duck Insider is next. For Danny Meringue, that's Jeff Rust on the ones and twos. I'm Patrick Harris. Go do something I would do.
Bye.